Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here. This is so exciting. Welcome to Community Spirits, a game of ghosts versus gentrification. I am your host and storyteller tonight. My name is Amy, she, her. These are my lovely players. And it's been my first time running a game for this channel. Thank you so much to Soul and Fires for giving me the opportunity. I'm gonna have all these players go around real quick, introduce themselves, give us your name, preferred pronouns, your character's name, and their preferred pronouns. After that, we're gonna get into a little bit more character creation-y stuff we've been working through, and then, of course, the best part, actually playing the game. Ao, then Blaze, then Aaron, then Savitar. Go.
Hello, folks. This is Al. I go by he, him, they. My character is Mir. She goes by she, her. Um, um, Bit awkward now. What else do you want me
That's
to introduce?
nope. That's it, dear.
Okay.
All right. So me next.
Mhm.
All right. So hello, I am Blaze, he, him. My character is Bryce Higa, also he, him.
Hello, everyone. I am Aaron, pronouns she, they, they. I will be playing Rain, pronouns they, them.
Hello, everyone. I am Sevatar, pronouns he, him, and I will be playing Isabella Dora Alvarez, Dora for short, pronouns she, her.
Okay. So, biggest thing here for the audience to know, who probably knows this, this is going to be a limited run campaign. We're going to be playing first session today, and we're going to be aiming for 8 sessions to wrap up at the tail end of April. Join us every week for the game. During tonight's session, we're going to be reviewing our safety tools, finishing our character connections, going over a couple of the little details, and then jumping into the meat of things. There will be a break or two as we go through it. For all my lovely players, if at any point you have any questions or concerns, feel free to speak up or ping me in the chat, and I will address those as soon as possible. I should take a moment to ask whether anybody has any socials they want to share real quick. For myself, none, although you will also find me playing here on Thursdays for the Between with Aaron, actually. What about the rest of you?
Nope.
I will pass on sharing my socials. Catch me
Okay.
if you can.
As per usual, you can find me pretty much everywhere but Twitter as Greg Cthulhu. And you can also see my social right below my name.
It's
Or
just
right
gonna
below
be
my
you
cam.
and me, Cthulhu. Just gonna be you and me.
Mm.
So, for tonight's game, let's tell a little bit of the audience about um, why we all decided we want to play this game and why we chose the characters we did. So, for me, Wraith is a game that I took a long interest in because I love the dystopian stuff. I love things decaying and falling apart. And I also just love, the inspirational, hopeful stuff that you can draw out of Wraith. How can you make the world better with a second chance? I don't have a character I'm playing, but I am very excited to be running this game of Ghost versus Gentrification because honestly, I think it's just like a sweet, awesome thing. People pursuing passions even beyond the grave, helping mortals do that, seeing how they can connect, and again, fighting back against the bad guys. It may be a horrible world, but that doesn't mean it can't be lighthearted at times.
Hello, folks. Again. Amy spoke before me. Um, I am interested in Red primarily because it's well a ghost story, right? It's the chance to play as someone who dies, who have moved on past this world and into the next in a very explicit way and still interfere with the living. I think that is a fundamentally interesting concept. As for why Mia in particular, I happen to know, or rather thought I know about people who own candy stores, and they always seems to have fun backgrounds. So in
Yeah,
this case, Uh, sh- they just
You,
coalesce into me.
you saw that Willy Wonka
Honey,
thing.
don't tell them. Honey, they'll think I'm not being original.
All right, there are no original ideas. Period. They do not exist.
I'll have you know that my inspirations are entirely from real life experience with candy store owner who get killed and become a badass ghost people punching ghosts.
Are you playing the unknown, Al? Is that what happened?
I am playing. Let the next person talk before I embrace myself more.
Right.
All right, so hello again. I'm interested in Wraith because of the idea of legacy and also the building upon of older heritages and cultures. The setting being Phoenix and in the district in particular means that we're grappling with a lot about gentrification, but also about displacement of people. And because my character is Asian American and Japanese in particular, the aftermaths of World War II and the continuing existence of basically colonialism and things with the various reservations and aftermaths of the displacement of Japanese people. So I have a lot of high up themes on my end. For the game in particular, Wraith feels really interesting, and that's a setting where things of the past are still around, and ways in which that the past can sort of keep its thumbprint on the present and push itself forward into the future. So ways that can be that we or there's hopes that the past can be protected. I think
And
that's a good
for
vibe. Oh, sorry.
All right. Me, why I like Wraith. Wraith was the first World of Darkness book I ever bought. I literally got in trouble with my very Catholic grandmother for owning it because she saw it, me reading it, and assumed it was Satanist stuff, which, she's not totally off the mark. Uh, um, the real reason I love Wraith though is I am a sappy little emotional bitch, and there was a book that came out for Wraith called Love Beyond Death, which was about literally stories in those themes where you've passed on, but something across someone who's still living is so important to you that you hold on. Big vibes for me. I might have that in my character background a bit. My character has a ward that protege slash ward that they care about still on these in the Skinland side of things. Um, as for this game in particular, I live in a part of Los Angeles that is in danger of being gentrified. The reason I live in this place is because it's cheap and not full of white people. I don't want white people to move here. Please don't move here. Go away. I don't want any more Jamba juices and fucking hot yoga. Go the fuck away.
Thank you
That's it
so
for me.
much. I too have an experience like that where someone's like, "You've got that book? That's shouldn't be having that book." Okay, you're not cool. And finally, Civitar.
I like Wraith because I wish I were dead, and this is the closest I can get to that.
Oh,
On a on a more lighthearted note, I
Because
like I like to see Wraith as a game of missed opportunities and second chances at capturing those opportunities. I think there's something really romantic in like, our culture really pushes the idea, well, white culture should really pushes the idea of like death as like the end. Like once you're dead, you're done. It's over. Whereas but like Wraith offers you kind of like a future beyond that. It offers you like a second chance to make up for things that you didn't really get to capitalize on while you were alive. Uh, and I think everyone needs a second chance from time to time.
And why Dora in particular?
I like Dora because I've played Dora in a lot of different games, quite honestly. This is not my first time around the block with her. And it's always so much fun putting her into these situations and just seeing how she reacts, what happens to her. In this specific situation, I'm really exploring the idea of a character who has amnesia about her life and wants to get back to it. She wants to discover like what her living life was really like. Um, and that's kind of like a similar story to a lot of Wraith's what Wraith really encourages you to play as someone who is desperately trying to like make amends, or like go back and finish unfinished business. And I think that Dora's amnesia really throws a wrench into that. Because it's not just that she has unfinished business, it's that she doesn't even remember what that business is in the first place.
Ah, now we are going to talk about character connections. And after that, we are going to review the safety sheet all of you lovely folks filled out. Make sure that we are on track with everything. So, uh, connections. Some suggestions. Mir and Rain may have a connection because they both care about kids. Rain with her rewards, and Mir concerned about kids getting hooked on drugs.
Mhm.
Another connection would be Mir and Bryce, except this one is actually with your shadows, where
I think.
Interesting.
your both your both of you have cultural roots and elsewhere, and your shadows want none of it basically. Mir's shadow just wants to blend in and be the average American and not worry about all this community stuff because what does it matter if some kids become addicts? We can't stop that. Let's just live a nice life. Meanwhile, Bryce's shadow is like, why stop there? Why not be the whitest person we can be? The ultimate tech bro, and just go all in on it. You know what? Gentrification, I say full speed ahead. I feel like those would get along. I feel like at some point Mir and Bryce have been like, is your shadow an asshole? Yeah, mine's an asshole. Exactly like mine? Almost.
Yeah, that is an important thing to note about Wraith. Our shadows can talk to each other secretly.
They do need to
Mine
have
has
the
the talent.
they do need to have the Whisper's Thorn to do that.
Do they?
And,
Okay.
Mine
couldn't
has
one
the
of them.
whisper.
I couldn't remember if
Yep.
that was an inherent power. If that was, I don't have Whisper. I'm good.
Bryce's definitely does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, but for the yes ands, my character also cares about kids, seeing as he's in community theater, and that means a lot of kiddies running around the theater in the summer.
Mhm. And Mia's shadow also have a connection with Dora the explorer because she had their shadow has a gun.
No, Dora has a. Oh, okay. Mir's shadow has a gun.
Yeah, I've got
Nice.
tainted relics
Did
assault
did
rifle.
did you peep at my sheet, Ow? Because my shadow also has a relic gun.
No, I did not even realize
Yeah,
that.
3 relic
So,
guns.
so Dora's
Interesting.
the only Wraith who has a gun.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know,
And
it's a real bad day, Dora, when you're hanging out with Mir and Rain, and they will just casually pull out semi-automatics.
Well, so what makes this great is that Dora has castigate. So if anyone's shadow like gets out of hand, she's probably going to be the front line of dealing with it. So we're going to have a
I
gunfight. I'm excited.
yeah, for sure.
If you have Castigate, you've probably used that on your fellow race at one point or another. You know, one too many Fortean slips happening. Truly the best. Side note, don't expect your mini to remember all the thorns for all the characters during the first session. I'll be doing my best to remember that all the personalities.
I say my two that do something are big do somethings. So
Hmm.
because I have Pact of Doom and what's the
Ah.
other the 7-pointer, the Devil's one.
Oh
my.
yeah, the
Devil's
Dare thing.
Dare, yeah. Where it's like, hey, I'm gonna bet a bunch of stuff that you're not gonna do this thing.
I am so excited for as the game develops and we maybe move into having other players be shadow guides.
I will
Hmm.
probably hop into as someone shadow more sooner than later, just because I'm comfortable doing it. As long as that player is comfortable with it, of course.
This is
Oh,
my first race game, so I'm still learning. So thank you all for letting me join.
I am cool
Is-
with Mir and Rain's proposed connection, by the way. I didn't say anything because I was busy roasting Fetch in chat for she, her, and Rain over and over again.
Annie.
thank you for reminding me. Hmm. Oh, do Dora and Rain know that each other are trans? Has that come up?
I am mad. So because Rain's appearance is not a human, I presumably there's. Well, I'm not sure because Moliate exists, and there's some wraiths who just moliate themselves to look weird. But Rain doesn't look moliated; they just look like they came down here this way.
I woke up like this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably a clear. It's probably a hint that they have some gender stuff going on, for sure.
What for the record, what does Rain look like?
So it looks like they are wearing a death mask that glows bright white. It has very like horns that go back, like if you've seen Mononoke. The deer god has the massive antlers that so it goes back like that. They glow white. The mask glows white, but once you get close, it is not a mask. That's their face.
Mm.
The rest of their body is very shadowy, like twilight sky, with some their arms, like from elbow forward, also glow white. That is a shadow power.
As
So
for whether Dora has brought it up, I don't know. That's a good question. Dora has like a lot going on in her own life. So I there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of angles to her I haven't really considered fully.
then consider this. It might be that Dora, because she knows that investigating her life means dealing with that, may have wished there was someone she could talk to about that matter. And you actually have a couple angles here, both of which I think would be good connections. One is Rain has a similar experience, so you could be like, "Hey, Rain, I've got this thing going on, and I was wondering, do you do too?"
Hmm.
And then just have that connection, like, "Oh, you too got the free trans experience when you became a wraith. That's awesome."
Yeah, I could see that very easily happening.
More and on a practical note, Bryce, since he does a lot of investigator work, could be someone that you've gone to and been like, "I have trouble looking into my background." He's like, "Oh yeah, what's your background like?" And you're like, "I didn't think
Yeah,
this
that's the
far
problem.
ahead."
About that.
Yeah.
It'll take a bit, but we can get things done.
Yeah, I think both of our characters are investigative leaning. Definitely Bryce more so than Dora. So I'm definitely expecting us to like have worked on like investigations basically together.
Hmm.
I got to assume every one of your PCs knows exactly what Mir's treats taste like, because Mir, I think, was alive long enough and died long enough ago that you all would have been kids at that point. And she ran a sweet shop when she was alive that she would like give treats to kids. So
What?
you what?
Um, Go on there.
So you've probably all like when you died and met her, you're like, "Oh, that's you. You look different. You look good, Mir." Um, and you would remember that. And she still does things where she still bakes in the underworld, which Al and I are figuring out, but that means you can have TC treats even now.
I'll also say that maybe not for Dora, because Dora, I want to be clear, Sevatar. Dora's amnesia is strictly for her living life, or does it extend into her Wraith life? Like,
Living life.
okay, so she died and forgot everything. Cool.
Mm.
So yeah, then there is an option for Rain to have known Rain in life and run into me on the other side. I might be. I don't know how long everyone else has been a Wraith. I was saying probably about 2 years for my character. So fairly recent, but not super recent. But it
One
is.
point in connection to
Go ahead.
what what Fish says about what Amy says about um what Amy says about Mia being a candy shop owners that I want to note and haven't had an opportunity is that her appearance as a red carries over the fact that when she would give out treats to kids or just sell them for really cheap so that kids can buy them with their alliance, she would sometimes just take stickers instead, like tiny little stickers of characters
Oh.
or stars or something, and it'll be all colorful. So her red appearance also include her tank top or her shirt is just full of a myriad of stickers all stamped on her from her experience with how it used to decorate her shop and stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
I posted a picture of me for you guys in the chat.
My
Cute.
character has been a Wraith for 10 years.
10 years.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think Dora is relatively recent to like last couple of years, I think.
I think we said like 10 to 15.
10 to 15.
10 to 15.
Oh wow. That is longer than I would have guessed. So she's been wandering around for a
Yeah,
lot of stuff could have
that's why her like she has like high status in the Pardoners Guild and like contacts allies up the wazoo.
I might suggest doing it something shorter, like couple of years, just so her we don't have to worry about like her feathers having decayed. Basically,
Sure.
the longer it's been okay. And we'll review the other stuff between sessions. But for now,
Okay.
the mechanics can stay the same.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Last couple of connections I see, obvious ones is artistic talent. All of you are creatives. We've got the candy maker, the theater kid, the graffiti artist, and the musician. And finally, you'll care about Roosevelt Row and want to protect it.
With overwhelming force.
We begin our first scene. You see the genteel business owner. Roll initiative. Okay. Now, any other character connections that we need to do before we go on to reviewing the safety sheet?
I think we had one like most of, or at least the Dora, Rain, and Bryce have all been at the same show or something similar. So they've all been in like the same artistic circles or been to the same places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, just going back really quick, I think it's possible that Dora may have died at like a theater Bryce worked at.
Yep.
In fact, I think it would be funny if like Bryce specifically warned the theater techs not to put the amp like up on like the wires, whatever. I don't remember what they're called. Like Bryce specifically told them not to do that. They did it anyway, and it got Dora killed.
If Bryce died before Dora, he still could have done that because as a ghost could be using it in habit to be like, hey, you know what? Don't do this, whatever you guys do, because I can be monitoring this.
Yeah,
And some mortal's just like, somebody putting a break and ignored him. It's like, God damn it.
yeah. What do you
And then
think?
you're And then your shadow's just like, never would have happened if there was a Starbucks here.
Mhm.
More like he should be running the place and have a bunch of minions to do stuff like that for him.
Hmm.
Do you want that
Yeah,
close
that
of
would-
a connection, Blaze, for your character?
I'm very happy to. So that would give Bryce a reason to help Dora out a lot because he'd feel bad about, dropping the ball on the death issue.
Yeah, and it would give Dora like a reason to like Bryce. Like, hey, you tried. You did your best.
I just realized most of our backstories could be turned into isekai anime titles. Dora's is I got killed by an amp and now I have amnesia in the underworld.
I mean, Wraith is a form of isekai since we're in a
Mm.
parallel
literally
secondary
is.
world.
It literally is.
I painted something bad and got mauled by a werewolf, and now I got my ideal body.
I mean,
That
I mean,
Gats,
I'm thinking of saying what my isekai title is, and I don't know if I should.
you should.
All right, sure. I immigrated to America and got killed by the police.
Oof.
Oh, that's real.
That is a
You
very
you
big vibe.
isekai
Many
to
such
America.
cases.
I
And then I got
isekai to
isekai
America,
the second
and then
time.
isekai to the underworld.
I do like Gats's proposal in another world with my spirit gun. Anyways, I'm ready for safety stuff now. If everyone else is.
Cool.
Yes.
And after the safety stuff, we're going to do the group haunt stuff, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll jump into the first scene. Everybody, please pull up the safety sheet. Give me a thumbs up in the chat once you've done so.
Yes.
Okay, we're just waiting on Blaze then.
Sorry, here. Please excuse my slow connection for being outside of the contiguous 48.
It's okay.
Don't worry, you're not alone. Ao is joining us from not in the States as well.
All
Joining
right.
you from another world.
On the
Isekai. I was isekai, and then the character playing the isekai world was isekai. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to go down and just confirm concerns and questions and see if anybody has any thoughts about the things. Since we've already talked about this previously and everyone's looked at it, I'm going to go kind of quick unless something catches my attention. So if something catches your attention, just interrupt me. Okay. Starting with the top. Amnesia, interest topic, obvious because of Dora. Body horror, we're basically fine with it. Blaze just wants a ask first if somebody's going to molliate them against their will. Casual murder is off the table. So killing should always be a last resort. Even specters deserve a chance at redemption. COVID, we're fine with the subject coming up. It's just we don't want to give any serious attention to COVID denialists in a, in any light that would paint them positively. Not that I think anyone here would. Death, just I'm going to unmark that one because I think that casual murder is already covered by it. That covers my concern on that one. Deprivation is interested. Out is interested in a story arc regarding their character dealing with drugs, and oh boy, does Wraith ever have a major side note to its game line that involves drugs. Those of you
Really?
who those of you who know Orpheus know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's your favorite.
Gangs. Out has an interest in gangs because he is looking for his character to hunt down drug dealers. gas lighting. We had the ask for that to be an ask first by Blaze for the shadow. I do want to talk about that one. How do you want me to handle that when it comes up? The way I imagine it happening is naturally
Rather than actually narrating it out in character, just say that's, the Wraith is going to be trying to convince Blaze to do this by gaslighting in this way or something similar.
okay.
Potentially.
If I have the Wraith say stuff like, "Hey, I think you're thinking maybe we should do this," and your Wraith and your Shadow's like, "Hell yes, we ought to do that," and you don't know what your Shadow is thinking, why they're saying that,
Oh,
or they're
that's
being
fine.
genuine. Okay. What would be an example of what gaslighting would look like that would be concerned about then? Make sure I don't foul.
It is hard to do because it is the sketchy area, but like you do not look like this, you do not think like this, you are someone else. So it like the
Okay.
more body dysmorphia side of things of you are not who you think you are.
Okay. So that would be the more literal. So it wouldn't be. So it'd be okay if your Shadow said, "Hey, you know what, Bryce? We really ought to just pass because that's who we really are is
Yeah.
this tech bro." That part would be fine. But it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're not really Japanese American." That would be
Yeah, that was the
got it.
no line.
Okay. Then I don't think it'll come up, but if it does, X card is on the table.
Yep.
Just say it and we'll adjust from
Yep.
there. Ghost children, they're okay, just none in sexualized situations. It's fine. No, ask before doing harm to bystanders. That was my ask. No harm to kids 16 and under. That's fine. Sometimes like psychological harm is a-okay.
Smiley face.
Blaze, are you okay with psychological harm happening to minors?
I would not like to enact it, but it is fine for it to be narrated.
Okay. No harm to pets or domestic animals. Veil if there's harm to pregnant people. Let's see, not concerned about wild animals. Ask before confronting your character with homophobic or transphobic concerns. Is that one where I'd be concerned with any of your shadows doing that? I don't think so.
I will say I am one of definitely one of the people that put ask first. I put ask first on all of the isms and phobias. And that is purely I don't want to have to engage with it myself. Like I don't want my character to be compelled to do anything like that. If there's transphobes in the underworld, that's fine. I would say weird choice to be after you've died, but it's a weird choice to be a transphobe. Period. I would keep it ask first for my shadow to say like slurs to me 100%, or misgender. That kind of stuff would be an ask first. That's a don't want bleed scenario. I get misgendered enough by people in real life. I say people, it's my parents.
Oof.
A big oof indeed. So yeah, that's a big ass first for me.
Okay. Are you all okay with the idea that you might encounter transphobic folks? I'll be honest, the way that would most likely come up is heretics or renegades who are just like, no, this is all we care about. And the hierarchy is like, that's a weird extreme take. Why is this your thing?
I'm very happy to fuck that up.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah.
fuck up. Like much like in the other games I play with you, Amy, if I can fuck up the bad person, I'm happy to engage because I don't have that power in real life. We can't just fuck people.
Mood.
We should be able to punch transphobes in the face whenever we want. It's not how reality works.
Kinky stuff, we're going to keep any of that off camera. Who had the ask first before mind control? Was that you, Blaze?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just the warning about it or the prefer to it for it to not be no agency, to have at least an out of character okaying before things happen to characters.
Okay. So then it would be okay if it's something like this character uses would it be okay if a character said they're using intimacy or menemnoninsin to
Try
to
again.
mess with your head? Or is that too far?
As long as we aren't deeply enacting it, that's fine. I would do a personal fate to black there, because yeah, body mind issues for self-autonomy.
Okay. I think I've got it. And again, if we hit the line, just let me know.
Wanna ask you real quick, Brett, would that also include drug addictions as such? I believe that there are some supernatural drugs in Orpheus, maybe, or Wraith.
Yeah, it's Orpheus.
So would someone who's an addict to that doesn't have full control of their facilities as such cross the line for you?
I mean, it's more for my own character.
Got it.
I don't
I
think
think
we, I
I'd
don't think
follow
I don't
is-
think we can do drugs as Wraith. I think that Orpheus makes drugs from Wraith stuff.
I don't know, but yeah.
There is a line that suggests that race can get poisoned and drugged. It's just how often is that going to come up? You'd probably have to go into the Tempest, or someone's like, this is my nicest bottle of wine, and it turns into a relic bottle of wine. That would make
It
sense.
would be weird to have a relic break of cocaine.
Yes, that would be.
I mean,
that
it's
would
just
be
has
weird.
a lot of
favorite
emotional
bale of
investment for
cocaine.
someone.
This is where my where is the first brick that I sold, that kind of thing.
No, what you gotta get is you gotta get a better brick of cocaine.
It's just
That
it's
is-
just a guy. It's just a guy who has like a brick of cocaine on the wall where you usually frame your first dollar.
Uh,
It was the first ounce he ever slung.
I am imagining people take it like they like cows with salt licks, just come up and lick it.
Back to the sheet. Natural disasters. We have an interest in that, and in oceans. I think that was for specifically. Sevatar has the interest in that,
I do too.
Sorry, what?
and you two both have you and Blaze have the interest in dealing with the Tempest and Maelstroms.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay, we'll see if we can bring that up. Ask for PC betrayal. Yep, I like that. Ask for powerlessness. Makes sense. It was Sevatar who wants that property, that sweet, sweet property destruction.
Mhm.
I thought
Ask
it
for.
was.
Oh, was that you instead?
Oh no,
Please?
I thought it was Rain because of the whole I can melt things with alchemy.
I mean, I'm also for it. I'm not the one who marked green on it, but I'm
Ah.
also a green on it.
We have an ask first for racism. How do we want to handle that? The two characters I'd be most concerned about are Mir and Bryce, because racism is pretty integral to your characters' stories. Do you want me to? Do I need to worry about anything other than? I'm guessing you are fine with the way your shadows handle the subjects of racism.
Yeah.
And with dealing with horrible racist ghosts, which again,
Yeah.
terrible move in the underworld, but
For my part, I think it should be the shadows is have it as ammunition to play into race and such. Difficulty of joining a community with a majority race that's not yours, and racist goals is fine. Uh, Strange choice, but fine. And I'm also fine with racism affecting things in more subtle ways, like just ambient racism, that kind of thing.
I
So
mean,
I'm mostly fine in general.
I'd say gentrification is kind of racist, just inherently.
Yep.
Mm.
It's really about driving out communities of color and letting white people feel safe. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we're pushing back
Mhm.
against that. So as long as we're able to address it and not are powerless to stop it, it's fine.
Seems like the same kind of thing with like transphobia, where if it's like, ideally, if it's presented, we should be able to punch back.
Yes.
yes, very much so. Okay. All right. Indifference to religious feminism, writing. Got that interest in romance, not a surprise.
Rude.
Romance.
The ask first on self-destructive behavior. What is the ask there?
So I believe that was me. So again, just be verbal about triggers before you start narrating those.
The aforementioned triggers from the previous ones.
Um, just be warned if a character is going to be shown doing self-harm.
Got okay, perfect. Thank you. And then there's a veil over self-harm. Okay, so do you want self-harm to be an ask first or a veil?
Honestly, I'm thinking that would be that veil.
Okay, so I'll move that to veil and I'll uncheck the self-destructive because that doesn't capture self-harm as well. Unless all self-destructive behavior should be an ask first, like somebody choosing to sleep in rather than go to a audition.
Oh no, I don't consider that self-destructive. I think consider that more mental health issue. But alcoholism or actual like knife or with bathtub, things like that, fade to black.
Understood. Sorry, fade to black or ask first?
Ask first.
Okay. All right, neutral on sex work. Sexism is an ask first, that's fine. Stuff. No on sexual assault, that's fine. Veiling sexual content, that can all happen off camera.
I'm just gonna go ahead and green that.
Bring that sexual desire. Sense.
Cthulhu, please,
Let's see
it's
here.
romance.
All right. As an ace person, I am very aware that sex and romance are not the same thing, but they can overlap.
Okay. Slavery. I would guess what's the ask there?
If you want us to be the slaves in the narrative, please ask first.
Okay. Seems like a terrible move on some of the NPCs' part, but I suppose we can come up. Okay, slurs. Again, the only ones I think I'd be comfortable using are when somebody uses something that is a queer phobic one, but I assume you want me to ask before having something like that come
I'll
up.
just tell you, Church TOS, don't use slurs.
Got it.
Huzzah. Move down to black.
Twitch will let you misgender to your heart's content, but no slurs.
What the
Oof.
fuck?
Thanks, Jeff
Yikes.
Bezos.
Yeah, so that'll be a veil. Like I'll say, he looks at you and he calls you a slur. No opinions on soul forging. Excellent. Good to
I
know, people. Don't
I-
think about it.
I mean, I have
Oh,
opinions. It's
I
just not
do
a
have an
safety
opinion.
concern.
I do have an opinion on soul forging, actually. If Dora
And
dies, I want
I
her
saw.
turned into a
Dora
sword.
wants to do it. What I'm hearing is Dora's like nothing but soul forging.
What
Put
do you
me
want to
in,
become,
coach.
Dora?
Like
Well,
a
you don't get to
sword.
choose.
That'd be cool.
Did you say a sword or a door?
A sword.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Uh, I don't think any of us are into relic forging or soul forging
Well,
as
I
mechanics.
make relics from stuff that already
Mhm.
exists. I do not turn people into relics.
I think soul forging is there's no safety concern, but it's really interesting part of the setting
Yeah.
in a mess up kind of way. So yeah.
The
Yeah, my character has some
justification
ethical
for it
grapples with it.
is, yeah, I say the justification for it, like, because they will, the hierarchy will sometimes, if you don't, if you look like you're too weak of a wraith, they'll soul forge you just to make sure you don't fall to oblivion. It's a choice.
Probably something that we will be combating with the group.
Okay. On to the next one. Stalking. I don't remember what the concern was there.
Just something that creeps me out, so please ask before that comes into a scene.
Okay. I assume that does not apply to you as wraiths following mortals who cannot see you.
I mean, usually they have asked first for guardian angel help, so
Well, there will be times when it's like, oh, that seems to be the bad guy. We should probably follow him.
It's not stalking if they're bad people.
yeah. I mean, it's also not stalking because you aren't like going to their house every day and trying to get to their work and being uncomfortable to them directly.
No malicious intent. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Veil on starvation and suicide. That's fine.
I'll say we were shadowing them, but that's problematic with the red language.
Supernatural split personalities. We had somebody who was interested in that. I forget who. Who was
I think it
all
was
in on
me.
that part?
I think it
Okay.
was me.
Okay.
Because of the thing with the amp.
Wait, what was the? How did that tie into the supernatural split personalities?
Oh, split personalities. Never mind. I completely misread that.
Okay.
I missed the split part, so I thought you meant like, oh, it's like vampires and stuff and like other
Mhm.
splats.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
thought it
that'd be
was
fun.
supernatural splat
Yeah.
personalities. My bad.
Okay.
That
As
that
before.
I would say there are other splats in this game for sure because of a flaw I took.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you
Uh,
want to change that to splat personality, I'll green that one.
Well, we can add a row.
let's see here. As before torture, as for unwinnable situations, I don't think either of those will come up because I don't take much of an interest. I know Savitar has a strong interest in the latter, so
Yeah,
maybe.
it'd be kind of cool once in a while.
Uh, be careful with using disrespectful terms regarding religious beliefs, framing them in a negative light. Let's see. Then we have who is the one who is excited for violence?
Probably me.
The person who didn't take any of the fighty stuff until I pressured them into it.
I forgot. There's a
I'm
lot
just,
going on with Dora. She's a mess.
I'm just teasing you. Angst from the ST, yeah. Native American culture's representation, cool. Mixing culture, yep. And then romance, we have everyone is cool with all romance with PCs or romance with NPCs,
Except for Savitar.
except for Savitar, who
Yeah, I'm not interested in any PCs. Nothing personal,
Understandable.
guys.
That's fine.
I'm taking it personally.
That's okay too. I'm sticking to it.
I'm taking it personally because I've met Savitar in real life. That's why.
Well, I have no response. That is true. You have met me IRL.
So, folks, we are an hour in. We're going to do the group hunt and then take our break. Did anybody have anything else they want to add to the safety sheet before we move on? Cool. As always, if something does come up during the session that makes you uncomfortable, just raise your hand, say X card, or ping me in the Discord server, and we'll pause the game and adjust. Cool?
Cool.
Excellent.
Mhm.
All right, so what is your guys' shared haunt? Big picture pitch. I like the idea of some place that kids can go to take refuge with the guardian angel, and that bad people generally know that they should not go to, otherwise bad things will happen to them. It's going to be a pretty big haunt because you guys have invested 5 points in it. So you could literally have the mansion on top of the hill, or something equally impressive like an art installation with residences built into it. What do we got?
I
There
thought I
is
remembered we briefly in our first meeting talked about the theater that Bryce died in being closed still, from whatever there was a fire, right? Blaze
Yeah,
that yeah.
fire.
So I thought we originally discussed maybe just having it be the theater that's still closed and stays closed because it's our haunt, and haunts are inherently creepy places.
mm,
Creepy, abandoned Victorian era theater that seems to go on forever into the back rooms, the attics, and the underground is, something I'm cool with.
And it's because my character, I think based on Al's description of Mir probably also has this vibe. Rain was a street kid and works with street kids, so abandoned places are a refuge, especially in a place like Phoenix, which gets ruthlessly hot in the summertime or brutally cold in the winter because it is a desert.
mm.
And the evenings be frigid. So the notion that street kids take refuge there and know the guardian angels quotes are there makes sense to me.
I like it. Before we lock that in, what other pitches do we have, if any?
No, I'm really
Um,
happy with that one actually. The
And
backrooms theater.
and then we had that idea of it's finally been put on sale by the city. So that's part of why we're in this situation, is that the city finally stuck a sales for sale sign on it. So we have to do something about that.
Yeah, keep it unappealing to buyers.
there is an alternative pitch that I figured out throw in is I'm not even sure if this is a thing, but I'm thinking about like playground areas or kids living space area with just uh one of those spinny,
Parks are allowed.
I guess, but they don't tend to provide a lot of shelter, I don't think.
Yeah,
So that's
that would be the problem with it being a haunt, is you
yeah.
need walls because haunts protect you from
Yeah.
maelstroms.
So I
Wait,
guess that's
I
not really
thought
a thing, right? A
huh.
roof playground area? A
You
roof
could have a haunt
inside
that's
a
a
building?
yeah, so you could have a haunt that's a playground, but it wouldn't be a high. It wouldn't be a 5 dot haunt because it's not very
Mm.
protected.
You could
Oh.
have built up soul steel walls like around the playground,
Very
but
inviting.
That
I
feels really
swear that
not
sounds really
I mean,
feasible.
unsettling.
yeah,
This is our happy place. It's a safe place.
It's a safe
The
place
maybe
walls
that
protect you.
that we've surrounded with dead ghosts that we've forged into walls.
maybe in that case I would ask for like in the theater there's a section where
The ball pit.
employees would bring their kids and nursery age kids and put them in the room with like pastel walls or toys and such.
It's a creepy old theater. I mean, you could literally have like a whole backyard portion of it that's
No?
just
Hmm.
part of the property that's become overgrown.
Works for me.
Mhm.
For some reason, there's always a red kid just always in the little swing. It's constantly going up and down, up and down.
Aw. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So if I'm saying the basic shroud rating in the area is 8 and you get it down to 3, that means that you folks get a free cool extra thing for your haunt
Mhm.
called an echo.
Nice.
Pull that up for us. For those of you who want to follow along at home, this starts on page 288. Basically, for every point that you would be below the lowest rating for the shroud is 4. If you would drop it below that, and you would, because you would take it to 3, it doesn't go to 3, but you get some cool special extra thing on it.
Mhm.
Huh.
These are called echoes. So the ones we'd have would be deadly, forbidding, isolated.
Seems very obvious if this is a place that killed Dora.
Oh yeah, Jinx does sound fun.
Well, we do want it to be like kind of a safe haven for kids. Still.
And for artists,
Why
so
would you say such a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Kids
haven't
love
you
these
heard
hanging
accents
out
that?
in-
definitely seem to defend the haunt. it
Oh,
says.
yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah, then. I love Jinx
Mhm.
then.
Oh yeah,
That sounds
It's,
great.
uh,
Yeah.
If it's not gonna hurt people that are there for that we care about, great.
Mhm.
If it fucks up bad
Yeah.
people, great.
Just bad people. So if some abusive parent comes walking in there, then the door next to the stairs slides open and smacks them down it. That kind
the theater basically has the property of Home Alone.
of thing. Cool. Later on we'll do a paint the scene, but I'm pretty excited to get going with the adventure. So how about we all take a break here? I like starting back on even points, so we're gonna call it 13 minutes, and then we are going to jump in with our first scene, our first session here in
Okay.
Pretzels.
Right. We'll be back at 7:50 Pacific, 10:50 Eastern, everyone.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Amy, your storyteller, and our group of community spirits are ready to begin their first adventure. So, folks, I'll tell you up front, this first one, it is meant to be a simple scenario. It's my first time running Wraith. It's many of your guys' first time playing Wraith. So, I think we are still going to have a delightful time wondering about every single page and every single rule in this book as we go through this.
Thank you for bearing with me.
This perfectly designed game with no flaws. Wink.
All right.
I am going to go off camera for like 10 seconds here. I also have my headset on so I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
I
All
will not
right.
cover you up then, Savitar, because you are looks like you're clear.
It is the evening of Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. And the four of you are out patrolling the evening streets, looking for something interesting. The four of you have come across a store called the Treasure Chest Tavern. This is a combination tabletop gaming store and bar. When you step inside, you see the front area is just full of nerdy games on display. Anybody could pick up something and walk right out with it if they want to. Nobody's sending the cash register. Um, if you walk past that and go deeper inside, though, you see a voluminous room with seats set up everywhere, a wide bar, some people enjoying themselves, and a couple of folks that one of whom one of you would know to be the owner. But before we get to them, let's talk about what you guys notice. What two questions? First, for the group, what brought you here on your rounds this night? And then, individual question for painting the scene. What gives away that this business, this place of love, is also the business owner's first business?
Okay, I'll go first. For newbies who don't know what the paint the scene is, paint the scene is the storyteller offloading character descriptions and or setting descriptions. It's a wonderful tool that got popular through a game known as Car from Brindlewood, so Brindlewood Bay Between and Public Access, and the Siltverse now. So I think the reason Rain is patrolling this particular place is I think this is the inside has exposed brick, and I think Rain was commissioned to do a kind of nerdy themed graffiti art on one of the exposed brick walls. As far as how we know it's the owner's first business, I think there is the very easy layup answer of first dollar made framed right behind the cash register.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think for Mia here, she's patrolling this area because it's really strange. Rhonda, her mentor and basically the boss of the Guild of the Spooks in this area tells her that it's always a very good idea for people who are protectors and guardians of the district to just come in, say hello, say, hey, you're in my sight, but in a very protective and well-mannered way. So they have just generally told Nier to go around and come in, see how the business is doing. Nothing necessarily nefarious, but perhaps it has something to do with the fact that spooks are built a little bit like a racketeering guild. As
Uh,
for as for what the place looks like and why this is the first place, I imagine it's because there's like a shelf of products that the owner as a person who loves tabletop role playing games loves but can't sell. So it's just Mia would be able to look and see like guys the Samsara from Black Dog Entertainment, for example.
I love it. I'm gonna call on Blaze next.
All right. So
Oh, before
let
you
me
go on,
see.
I should say this is optional. If you don't have anything to add, you can just choose to say nothing. So after this time, so this time, if you don't have something, you can just say pass. After this time, I'll listen to folks, and if there's a long pause, then I'll just move on.
Well, just to clarify, we're in the Skinland side of things, right?
I'm going to rephrase that in a way that I follow and then make sure we're all aligned. So the Shadowlands overlap the Skinlands. You are
Okay.
always in the Shadowlands. You can always see
Oh.
into the Skinlands. You
We,
are
we technically see both simultaneously in a weird way.
Oh, okay. That's me not knowing the lore, right?
yeah. An easy way to picture what you guys see is honestly just imagine your normal everyday environment and don't think of anything else. When you're ready to layer onto it, you can then think, I see the decay in everything, but I also see the brightness specifically within people.
Oh, all right. So let's see. The reason I got told to be here was because it's becoming a popular place for the local theater haunts to gather. Because there's nothing like seeing people acting out dramatically at a tabletop to really get older ghosts inspired to act more professionally again. And the reason why I know it's a first time business is because they have a little still hiring sign on the door and it's pretty understaffed because it's just been COVID and a lot of people have moved out of the area. So there's like a welcome back sign on the door, just opened, or and a little newspaper article about it being like the first like news store on the block to make it over like 6 months.
Ouch. Love it. And Sevatar.
Dora is here because she heard a rumor from from one of her contacts that this is an area of interest. Her contact doesn't know why it's an area of interest, and Dora's here to find out why. You can tell it's a new business because there's there's this really weird juxtaposition, I guess might be the right word, between like the level of haphazardness and care that everything has been put into. Like on the one hand, like all the menus are like printed on just like ordinary cardstock. It's nothing fancy. The tables are almost dingy. Like you can tell they like probably picked them up like either at a thrift store or like some kind of big wholesale like liquidation thing. But they all match, and like there's like little details like in the centerpieces, like all of like the dishes, like even like the basic house fries has like a cute little like name. Like there's such a like depth of detail that have been put into like the little touches here. It very much has the feeling of like people doing the absolute most they possibly can with what little they have. It's
I
earnest.
love it. I'm adding that to our NPCs section description of the tavern, so anybody can refer back to that. So the Treasure Chest Tavern, is bustling with activity when you enter it, both in the Skinlands and in the Shadowlands. Oh, there's people playing at tables. There's theater ghosts hanging around in the background. Sometimes when somebody does like a critical hit, a ghost is just keening to play something for them off on the side. And people just think it's like the some music coming from it. They don't really get it, but people are having a good time, which is a problem for the staff because there's really just not enough of them to manage it. You four had a chance to meet up recently. You were doing your patrols, talking about places you were going to visit, and you all realized that, oh yeah, we're all planning on going to this place sometime, tonight or the next couple of nights, and you're going there together. This is not uncommon. You guys hang out frequently. You just normally split things up, but hey, if you all have a shared interest in something, why not go together, right? Tell me what you folks are talking about as you walk into the tavern.
Bryce would be talking about all of the goings on in the Citadel, complaining about this new order from Stygia that makes absolutely no sense for Phoenix to be complying with, and all of the bureaucratic runaround he's having to do to, on paper, comply and have nothing change at all.
The Skeletal Lord has some weird opinions on how things need to be managed. It's hell for Zachariah, which means it's hell for all of you too.
Mm.
Indeed.
And you can slip into character now. We're at that point.
I think Rain is typically quiet and is like very, very much the vibe is, unless you engage with them directly, is just quiet. But once they're in the store, like they light up a little bit, literally and figuratively, as they go over to their mural and like make sure it's still like there's no chipping, it still looks good.
It's in immaculate condition. What does the mural look like anyway? For the Treasure Chest Tavern.
Given Rain's penchant for drawing monsters and stuff, and this is a nerd store, I think they did their own stylized version of Cthulhu versus Godzilla. It's like a whole wall piece.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I think Mir, somewhat unfortunately for the group dynamics, is also a bit quiet. But Mir just hovers literally and look into or look at the DM screens or character sheets of the people having a good time. Just almost instinctively checking in to see that everyone is just smiling and if they are having a route or arguments or staying out or how terrible their lucks are, etc. They are all having it in good fun. Just wandering the place, looking at everything, keeping everything in that side.
Dora is definitely actively engaging Bryce in the conversation. She's also very curious about what's going on politically, like that Phoenix is suddenly becoming like the new hotness. Um she also like seems very like not like tightly wound or anything, but like she like it's pretty clear that she's waiting for like the other shoe to drop. Like she has the feeling that something is about to happen and like it hasn't happened yet. And whatever that something is, like it's going to be something that they're gonna have to deal with.
Now would be a perfect time for the bardic prophecies to come into.
Oh boy.
Which one of the three?
A perfect time indeed. As God, yeah, three of you have it. I'm imagining Rain just starts spontaneously spray painting a mural.
I will say Rain like has a holster, but instead of a pistol, it is a spray can, a relic spray can that they keep on
Nice.
their hip like a holster.
But since there's three of us, imagine if we go full dog or Irish style Trinity speaking fates.
Wait, what? Oh, wait. Style Trinity speaking. I don't actually know what that is.
So for Irish myth, gods come in threes. So whenever you have the fates or something speaking, you have three voices either speaking in time or finishing each other's sentences. So since there's three of us, there's always the idea of whenever us three are together and bardically speaking, the sentence sort of rambles between voices or echoes between all three of the people that have it.
Although because Cthulhu's mode of expression is with her spray can, it might be just us speak, then a drawing occurs, and then speak again.
I do have something for that actually.
Mhm.
Bryce, you're in the middle of saying something about how Mr. Boney Hands has this, their insane latest plan and how Phoenix is supposed to be part of it in some tangential way, which doesn't even apply. And in the middle of that, you find yourself saying, and the children of the parent shall make themselves known, though the parent shall not be seen.
Oh.
Oh, that's weird. I write that down as quickly as possible if I notice it. And the children of the parents.
I may spread it to Mir and Rain during the scene if and when the others hear about this. But I think so far it's just Dora overhearing it because the other two are preoccupied with a couple of things. Mir, your investigations of the place, something catches your eye. You go around towards the back where the owner keeps some of their favorite games, and you notice an empty spot on a shelf. It's only empty in the skin lands. When you look in the Shadowlands, you see, and you would only notice because of your Wraith. I want to emphasize to you, this otherwise just looks like a normal game box. It is a game box for Tokaido.
Kind of,
It is a board game about who can have the most awesome vacation.
It's a
I
very good
believe it's
game.
one of the European board games. It's about the Tokaido Road in Japan.
It's a very fun
Alright.
game.
It is cute.
Given the quite obvious discrepancy with this in the Skilllands, can I reach out to hold on to it?
Oh, definitely. The box is 100% there. It's just only you can touch it because you're a ghost.
Of course. Then I shall pick it up from the shelves and turns around to look at it on the other side, see if it's any difference from the usual kinds.
Yes, the biggest difference between this and the normal one is that when you check the boxes, the tiles are weighted ever so slightly in the favor of water related tiles.
Water? Well, nothing ventured, so I shall go ahead and pull up the lid of the box and look inside.
It's a full proper game set. You have a new source of entertainment down here in the Shadowlands. You can play Tokaido whenever you want with your friends.
Excellent.
Is this a relic?
It is a relic, yes.
Okay.
I look around and I look for. I guess I look for the clerk. see if there's anyone who I could legally purchase this from now.
Well, that would be the store's owner, who unfortunately is in the Skinlands, and as far as you know, is not a medium.
Kind of
Speaking of which, Rain, you see the store owner engage in conversation with someone else. I'm going to post their pictures in our NPCs thread. Everybody go there, please.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're hot.
Yeah.
God.
Savitar, this is something that happens in every Amy game. They're all hot.
And this is an unfamiliar person that they are speaking with.
Oh, cute.
This dude has main character energy.
He does. He even has the Gryffindor tie.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He has a red and gold tie and
Huh.
one of those bandages on his face. He looks so main character.
An
It's a very
interesting,
great vibe.
interesting thought given what we'll still learn. The store owner, Avery, says, "Hey, sorry, just it's been really, really busy." Yeah, no, I can see that. Look a little understaffed, if you don't mind my saying. Yeah, no, it's been a little hard. Uh, people in a lot of people I would usually hire, they're just not. But it'll be fine. I'm planning on getting some people for the game fair. So hopefully that'll do and bring in some more interest, and then I can, afford to hire some more folks. Uh, Speaking of which, what's the thing you want to talk to me about? Yeah, so about that. Mira, you'll be able to pick up on this conversation soon enough. And then after you join in, then Dora and Bryce can show up whenever they feel it's convenient.
That is something I like to do while this conversation goes on, if that's all right.
Sure.
While the owner seems to be chatting up cute boys, I would like to consider, if possible, use the outrage raid grabs to interface with the Skinland world.
To do what?
To press the Mia would know the operation of a cash register box. So what I would like to do is just use the red grabs to press the button that would slide open the cash box of the register box and put something inside as a way of paying for the Tokaido board game.
What do you have to pay for it with?
Mia have like this metal box she wears kind of like a bag next to her waist. Inside there's just this assortment of candies and treats for rates and such, but also importantly fortune cookie, which inside is a proper fortune, but of course the only people who would be able to read them are rates are people she used her fatalism on for.
That's
Regardless, I think
you're
that's a
getting,
fair compensation for the box.
I love it, and you're giving me a wonderful idea for having like a Wraith clerk for one of these stores. Just some, it's like, yeah, I'm just still working the till.
Yeah.
God,
Okay.
you die and you can't escape retail.
It's
Truly, this
important
is
to
the
me.
Shadowlands.
These are the chains I wore in life, they say, pointing to their headset for the call center.
Oh no.
These are the trappings I had. Be gone,
Okay.
ghost of Christmas present.
I just
Now-
realized with how common the trope of the dying of overwork is in anime, how many anime like anime wraiths would have shit like their headsets because it would be the thing that was responsible for their
Yes.
death. Rough.
Oh no.
Black
Rough indeed.
companies.
Talk about a isekai setup.
Yes, this gotcha game is my fetter because I died for a death march to it.
Oh god damn
no.
it.
This gotcha game is a fetter because I died not being able to pull the 5 stars.
Oh no, imagine if someone had a Pokemon Go equivalent.
Okay. Okay, so mechanics point of order. No, most Arcanoi require you to make a roll in order to activate them. I believe that is the case for Wraith Grasp.
That is
Now,
right.
I'm not going to have you roll in this case because there's no dramatic tension to me letting you pay for a relic board game to somebody who's never going to see it and nobody's going to stop you. So I'm just going to give you the roll, say it happens, you're able to do that. If there's a pathos or a corpus cost, you still need to pay whatever that is. But you can otherwise do your interactions. Everybody make sense of that?
I'm a fan of only rolling when the stakes matter.
Back to the conversation. The unfamiliar boy says, yeah, so my company has this offer here. So I know you're struggling and I want to help you out. So if you go with this, we are going to basically be your sponsors, your promoters. We'll have our official advertising all over it, and we'll be handling everything, both like your board game side of things and even the brewery side of things. We'll have, we'll be helping you out with that. Avery ponders for a moment and then says, I'm just not really sure. What does a board game company have to do with King Brewery? Why are those two connected? Bryce, you overhear this, at which point you hear a faint laugh in your head. Oh, we gotta go check. We gotta go check this out.
One of the few times me and my shadow are gonna be in agreement because I have the curious trait. If I notice something, I am going to poke at it.
I do have a quick question. Sorry. Are both of these people living?
Yes, both of them are alive.
Okay.
Or at least they appear to be.
Well, so we have life sight and death sight. If we see a vampire, we know they're a fucking vampire because they don't appear as alive.
Are we able to see if someone's possessing a person?
I
was-
think you need. So I think for that, I think you need Arcanoi to know if someone's doing puppetry or something like that.
Yeah,
But
so that
vampires,
was where I was doing the doubt.
Yeah, vampires, we can just straight up see them. Like, oh, that's a vampire.
Huh.
A tangent. If I'm recalling my mechanics correctly, there's a number of powers which let you do something like Bryce can look at an object and see whether it's already inhabited, or
It's initiate level. I don't have
right.
that.
But I was just using it as an example.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering something about something and you're like, I don't have a power that covers how I would know something about this, Wraiths have a stat called awareness. You can just roll that to be like, is there something weird going on with this? And if the answer is yes, they'll give you an answer based upon how many successes you get. So don't feel too like you just have to worry about your yes, Sevatar.
I have a dot in awareness.
Sevatar, did you have something you were going to say? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Nope, we're good.
Okay. Which of your characters have academics or
Me.
oh, beautiful. And you have politics too, right?
Academics and bureaucracy. I have a dot in politics, but not as many as bureaucracy.
Okay.
I have 2 in politics and 3 in occult.
Fun.
1 in academics and 1 in politics.
So all three of so all three of you might have heard of King Brewery. It's a very popular, very big chain of oh my god, why am I blanking? It's a major distributor of very cheap, very light beer. It's not good, but it's cheap as hell and plenty of people buy it. Those of you yes.
Like Budweiser vibes, or even cheaper and jankier?
Cheaper,
Ah,
jankier.
oh my.
Those of you with academics can then guess that academics and politics can then guess the connection of what else he might be talking about. Because this is a game store, and King's Brewery is as a parent company, and that parent company owns a tabletop role-playing game company.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Truly, we're dealing with one of the most evil corporations.
Yeah, I am not a happy camper right now.
That's right. Our mysterious person is here on behalf of King Brewery and Black Dog Publishing.
With products such as Sky System Sarah.
Is that one of their listed products? I'm actually not sure.
I don't know. I was just making up based on Red.
I think they have a list somewhere. What do you do?
I have a
He is
question.
yeah.
So the text for occult, the occult ability, says that 4 dots is the world of darkness is an open book to you. I have 3 dots. Does that give me enough to know who and what we're dealing with here?
Uh,
Not quite an open book, but I
here's
know
how
I know I'm
here's how I would
interpreting
rule
that
it.
text very literally, and I apologize for that.
I think that the knowledge about those companies' involvement in the supernatural is obscure enough that I would say no, regardless of how many dots you have, unless you can explain how your character would have some connection to knowing that. For example, Rain has a connection, which could explain why Rain might have an idea of what that company is all about, and then could have looked further into it. But unless Dora is like politically active and it's like, you know what? I just want to hang out in like the boardrooms of every place and see what crazy occult stuff they do.
She does
I don't think it would be on her.
she does have politics too.
Then you could give I'm going to first go over to Erin because she has the better connection, and then we'll go from there if I feel like we need to.
So there's two things I'd like to do. The second is dependent on the first.
Okay.
First thing is I'd love to use life sight on Avery to read you didn't list pronouns. I'm gonna say that's a they them based on the picture.
They them, yes,
that's
that
an
is
NB
correct.
if I've ever seen one.
You guessed it, and so I was.
I would like to use LifeSight to figure out Avery's emotional state. I want to know how receptive they are to this offer first.
Okay.
So that is perception plus empathy, which is not my super best roll, but is it increased difficulty or anything like that?
No. So I believe the base difficulty for all rolls is 6.
Mhm.
There are exceptions when you are reaching across the shroud or otherwise dealing with specific mechanics.
Okay, so y is going to equal. Why are you making me doing math? I hate this. I'm not a math queer.
Weird.
And Aaron, do you think there's any reason that Rain would know about the supernatural side of these companies?
So without spoiling too much, I don't like keeping out of game secrets, but in game, I think there is a very good reason given who killed Rain and what supernatural splat they are, that Rain might have a clear idea of Black Dog Publishing.
Okay. I'm gonna give this one, Salvatore, I'm gonna give this one to Aaron then for
Right.
their character. So
Sounds great.
yes, Rain, you also know by the inferences that you've heard from your contact that they're
Big
involved
quotes.
yeah. um but they do horrifying, terrible, supernatural stuff. But you're not super clear on the details because they're not very comfortable talking about it. And it's also very outside of your wheelhouse.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a willpower for an auto success.
Okay. So I'll take a look at how Aaron does that dice roll.
Bot, hello. I might have done it wrong.
Oh,
there we
wait,
go.
there it is.
Yep, it just took a second. So 3
Beautiful.
successes.
Okay. You see some hesitancy in Avery. They have a core though that wants to take this. You can taste the desperation on them seeping through. And also that a touch of affection you detect.
Oh.
Oh yeah, they're
boy.
hot. Oh no, they're hot. Okay, so here's once I clock that, you see Rain walk over directly to the unknown individual. Is he wearing a belt to keep his pants up?
Cthulhu. I sent that
I think that's a yes
a very
based on how
similar
hard Amy's
message
laughing.
to
Mhm.
Amy like 5 minutes ago.
He has a belt in the picture.
He
No,
sure
I like
does.
where this is going.
So Rain,
Yes.
Rain looks like they would normally ask permission to do this, but makes a face. You can kind of see like, because under like the mask is like this portion up, so they still have a mouth. So you see their mouth kind of like fluctuate between like, should I do this? No, I'm doing this. And they grab a hold of the belt. I'm going to use the first level of flux, rot, and try to disintegrate this belt.
For those who are curious and don't feel like navigating the labyrinthine.
I'm happy to read the power. I have it open currently.
Oh, please do then.
So rot. Flux's most basic application increases the rate of decay in a material object within the alchemist's line of sight. Its effects on metals, ceramics, and other durable material is too small to matter in most cases, but it can inflict months of dissolution on organic matter within a few minutes. This can hasten an object's destruction and possible transition to a relic state, destroy organic evidence of wrongdoing, or revolt and terrify mortals who witness bubbling corruption claiming their dinner. I spend a pathos, which I will do now, and I roll my dexterity plus flux. If I'm not touching the object, I also have to spend a willpower.
Okay, I'm gonna say that as long as you get one success in this one, we're fine. I don't feel like worrying about the number for this.
Okay, I was gonna say the successes matter how much it ages. 1 success is a week, 2 successes is a month, 3 is a year, 4 is a decade, and 5 is a century.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, well, she probably, they probably need 4 or 5 successes to do it. No, not today. Let's just see whether they succeed at all.
Yeah.
Let's just see indeed.
As standard difficulty, I assume. It doesn't say I do the shroud difficulty, which is usually specified.
Really?
Yes,
I'm
that
gonna
is
double check
something.
that because that's impressive.
Yeah, I was surprised by it myself because
First line, flux systems. Unless otherwise stated, each flux's art difficulty is the look shroud reading.
Thank you. I did not read the I just read the power itself and not flux. Cool. So it is 8.
It is 8.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend another willpower then. Slash R. I have 7 days for this.
Do you feel like this aligns with your caregiver?
Yes, I'm trying to make sure Avery doesn't make a bad decision.
Cool. Succeed or fail, you will regain the willpower point.
Cool.
Oh, Jesus!
It would have been 5
Ooh.
successes if not for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 4 successes. Dora and Bryce, you are walking over. So you see the moment Federico is like pulling into his satchel, grabbing some papers and saying, "All right, so I've got the contract here. Wait, uh, Avery's just staring and blushing. You're, um, you're, Federico looks down. Excuse me, real quick. He pulls his pants. His pants have fallen down. He pulls. Yes, ow.
Yes, dear. Cthulhu showed me that I should just go with my impulse instead of waiting. So I would like to use Wraith grabs to grab his shirt, pull it back so that while he has his pants down, he fall.
I will say, once the pants fall, Rain does turn away, and the lower half of their face blushes.
Mir doesn't.
Mir, go. It sounds like this is purely for aesthetic at this point, unless you're trying to keep him from making himself decent.
Sorta. Mostly for just keeping the humiliation train going. So it can go either way depending on what you think there.
I think it's interesting to have you roll on this one because this could affect how things go.
Alright. That is strange. Honestly, it might be more worrying that Mia would use too much strength based on how much strength she has.
Taking a sweet little time.
Yeah,
Let's make sure your
of course.
notation is correct. How many dice were you rolling?
8 dice too.
And what's in the
Oh, I know. I didn't put in the Y. It's 6, right?
the Y would be 8 because you're reaching across the shroud.
Of course.
And remember, oh my god, that's 5 successes.
Now I would argue that Mia does try to moderate her strength as a general rule of living, given that she knows she's way too strong. So rather than just yanking him and throwing him against the wall, it's maybe some of the shirt is just hucking him strongly into his abs and then pulling it back.
Honestly, I assumed that he trips, falls flat, and his shirt comes off.
It's not.
Jeez, this dude is getting bullied.
He is getting bullied. For the record, that was a 5 success, which would be enough to force open a metal fire door, just one away from throwing a motorcycle.
Jesus Christ.
So when the shirt comes off, the blush goes into the skull part of Rain's body. Now they are glowing bright red, essentially.
Dora and Bryce, what do you do? The boys on the ground, face flat, almost naked. Avery is staring, a moment of shock and confusion, trying to process what just happened.
Oh no, I'm here for this. I'm just gonna let this play out.
In the
Bryce
background,
is
some
like,
theater ghosts are clapping at Rain and Mir's performances.
yeah, Bryce can't help himself. He's laughing on the floor outrageously at the scene in front of him. He's not gonna be good for a little bit as he just looks at this poor dude in embarrassment.
Avery kneels down and says, "Rodrigo, are you okay?" "I'm fine. My nose hurts." You fell. What happened? Where are my pants, Avery? We'll get that taken care of. Don't worry. Let me help you. Oh, everybody avert your gaze.
Dora does not avert her gaze.
The theater ghosts are definitely singing some kind of Lion King theme to this.
Avery helps him stand up. Um, tries not to stare, fails horribly. Federico pulls his shirt back on as much as he can. The shirt's busted. He's just gonna be Fabioing it for a little bit here, and tries pulling his pants back up, but there's no belt. How about you go back into my office for a moment and relax? I need to make sure that everything's okay out here. Yeah, okay. Avery's going to walk him back there, leaving everything that Federico brought completely unattended.
Bryce is gonna be all on that paperwork.
Yeah, we gotta grab it.
Once the embarrassing person is out of the way, like Rain composes themselves and is just letting Bryce do his thing.
Is Mir's romantic sense is tinkling, so can I follow?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, just gotta make sure that everything's in the up and up in the back rooms. I realized the double meaning there, but that was unintended.
Beautiful. What will I'm sorry, what will Rain and Dora be doing? I missed that.
Rain is like Rain did their thing. Like they ended the talks, so Bryce is gonna take care of the paperwork stuff.
Dora's helping me with the
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah,
I'm helping.
We're gonna focus on that then.
Yeah.
So, Bryce, I think this would be a perfect time for you to inhabit the paperwork.
Oh, do I get to read everything at once if I do that?
Basically, keep in mind. So right now, because you're in the Shadowlands, you can reach into that bag, but you cannot pull out the papers and look at them because you cannot touch that stuff. It's physical. However, you can possess the paperwork. Now,
Yeah.
I could be a jerk and be like, one page at a time.
Amy.
Because, my dear Al, kindly request, I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm not even going to make you roll for it, please. Tell us what it looks like when you possess the paperwork.
Just a moment while I reread the system for that, as I need to see if I have to spend the thingamajiggies, because I think I do.
You pretty much always do for Arcanoid. It's almost always
A
being Pathos.
lot of the rank 1 arts do not call for a spend. It's pretty good if you just want to.
Okay, assume the shell. Inhabits most basic allows me to insert myself into inanimate objects, but I can read them. Heroic dexterity inhabits difficulty 6, only 1. Oh, I don't think I do spend a thingy for assume the shell. It's only
Wow.
for if I want to claim it.
Must be
That
fucking
spends
nice.
pathos.
Yeah,
All of
you
my
are
shit costs
correct.
pathos.
It does not. So I just hop on in.
Oh, that's brutal. That's awesome. It also ignores the shroud rating for doing it. That's
Really?
yeah. It's
Okay,
just
I
straight up
chose a good
difficulty
one.
6. Yeah. Okay, Bryce, you pop in.
Yeah, so the way it looks is that it goes full cyberpunk. He touches the object, and you see a glowy bunch of like numbers and coding appear on his skin as his like mark of inhabit, and then he sort of vanishes in a shower of digital sparks.
Nice. Nice effect. Bryce, you are the paperwork. You start flipping through it, bringing in the data through pure intuition and getting a general idea of the contents pretty quickly. I may call for a roll to know more details, but
Yes.
the basics are this is a contract whereby the Treasure Chest Tavern would agree to let Black Dog Publishing promote its upcoming tabletop games, card games, and board games here. Just plaster it all over the place. And also to have King Brewery come in and provide some additional refreshments for the thirsty guests. Offhand, looks like it could be a pretty decent deal for Avery. He gets a
Too
little
good to
money.
be true. Time to use those
So-
bureaucracy dots.
Yeah, some might say it's too good to be true. So you're gonna dig into that bureaucracy? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Let me see what my 2 dots get me. So what would the roll be?
That would be bureaucracy plus intelligence.
All right, so that's 2 and 2, so I get a pool of 4.
Correct.
Remember that
Right,
you can
let me
spend a
see my
willpower
math.
for an automatic success.
I don't think I need. Well, I haven't used my willpower yet, so I may as well since I get those back.
Yes.
I will use 1 willpower to make it an automatic success. Then let me do the math. It is. Oh, I need brackets. Yeah. Eight.
Also, remember, you don't need the.
Wait.
I'm going to show you an example. Here is proper formatting for it. This is Cthulhu's. You can copy that, replace the 7 with a 4.
Yes.
And then keep the 6 the same.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the format. So that's 4d10c greater than.
Oh, you have to hit
Oh.
/R and click on the R command that shows a dice, and then enter it.
/R.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
1. Not too good, but oh well.
Hey, you
Yeah.
spent. Thank God you spent the willpower.
That
So that would be a
willpower
2?
saved you.
Or
No,
oh.
no,
No,
that's,
that counts the willpower. The plus
Oh,
one at the end.
yeah, because I only got 5s. I see.
Okay, so that voice in your head chimes in again. It's like, oh man, this is some good shit. Oh, I could learn a thing or two here. Oh yeah, look at this page. Look at that. Oh, this is good stuff. What you and your shadow are picking up on is that, yes, it's, it is a little too good to be true because it does give, um, Black Dog Publishing and King Brewery certain rights of like advertising in the future, like they have a right of first refusal. And the funding is good, but it really locks him into that and some other clauses, which basically mean that it's going to be harder to not keep doing business. And really, I mean, you've seen it before, and your shadow dwells on it. that it's a good deal because once he gets him the first time, it's going to make him easier to take it the next time. Next time comes a little bit of pressure, but they do more of it. Soon, he's going to be completely dependent upon these businesses. Now, the number of successes you get does determine how much information you get. That was maybe a little generous for one success, but I still think it's fun to capture that, especially for the first session. Do you have any questions about the information that I've shared? Is there anything else that you're curious about?
I may try and do a claim the shell to mess with the paperwork so that way those really nasty clauses get sort of bolded, or otherwise sort of other places get smudged out a little bit, so that way the paperwork looks a little more obvious about the fancy bits. Am I allowed to do that, or is that too much control?
Ooh, that feels like an edge case. So normally you can only make something do a thing it could normally do, like make a page turn itself or crumble.
Oh, so I can't make the ink do stuff.
Yeah, I would think that their example saying you cannot do is make a gun
shoot
like
by itself.
No, it can shoot by itself, but it can't like
levitate
float
in the air.
It can't levitate in the air, for example. What do you all think? Do you think that messing with the ink on a paper is too much or something to do with claim the shell? I'm inclined to say you either shouldn't be able to do it or that it would require getting more successes than usual.
I won't chance it then, but I will pop out and call Brain over to see if they don't mind mucking with a page or two.
We're gonna flip back over to Mir for a moment. Okay, Mir, you're in this cluttered back office. There's a computer, there's the bunch of paperwork sitting around, and of course our two fine folks. Avery says, "Are you okay? That was a nasty fall. Your nose looks. I think it's bleeding a little bit. I'm fine. I'll be okay. I don't know what happened.
That's a nasty fall. Your butt look quite stiff. Is that a bruise or are you just built like that?
Federico says, I'm sorry you have to see me like this. No, it's fine. I mean, I don't think I have a spare shirt. I'm not worried about it. I can just pack my car and then head out. There's a pause as he's thinking of saying something. Avery looks hopeful. And then you see just as quick Mir with your wraithly senses that something dark and trouble makes a shadow over Federico's heart, and he can't bring himself to say anything.
That's appropriate because I had wanted more information by using live sight on him to see what he has in those dark and troubled and handsome mind.
Glad I
Those
picked this
darkly
picture.
and nudely. Life sense, life sight, Steven. Left side is perception plus empathy. Okay, five. Are we working with
And
six?
Starlight.
Fish?
Yes, it's always difficulty 6 unless I say otherwise. But I'm actually dropped this to difficulty 5 because your group has embarrassed him enough that it's pretty easy to see his emotions.
All right. He's unbalanced. Okay.
Oh my god, you
For-
guys just will not stop ruining the.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, dear. I have. If he turns out to be bad, I have a way to ruin him. So let's see if he is redeemable. 4 is written in the book as basically reading the target's mind, but it depends on what I get from him.
Okay. Basically, like reading his mind. That's cool. Okay. You can see the twinge of romance in him, something deeply buried, something that his heart has never spoken. But just as quickly, you can feel the darkness coming over him. The feeling that he's here to do a job, that a lot depends upon this. That there's other people who are going to be important, that are going to matter more to him about this. That he doesn't have time to think about these things, that he has to think about himself, about how hurt and humiliated, how embarrassed he is to feel like this. And so it's with a sense of shame that he's trying to write off as a passing fancy that he does not speak. He hardens his heart and he tries to get back to the business that he's been told is more important than anything. You can still sense that that is not ultimately where his heart lays, but it's what he wants to believe.
I have something that is both perfect and something that I have no idea how it would go, which is an amazing feeling in to have. So what I would like to do here is use tap tap to on his phone call back the last number that had called him that he called earlier, which I would assume is his employer. So if doing that and put it on speakerphones, I would assume that they might say something that would cause him to turn either way. Either say something bad that makes him realize actually it's these guys just value me at all. They just want me to do this bad thing to keep a person I fancy, or it reminds him of his duty and make him even worse. I have no idea which way it will turn, but that's what I'm thinking here.
Man, you're gonna give him like a straight up existential crisis.
Sure, he's got his. So Federico has his phone out. He's just checking his messages. And huh? Wait, what's no? Did I get water on it? It's his phone is going to recent calls. It goes to last one. No. And then it swipes and the phone starts ringing. He's trying to hit the end call button when it picks up. He's about to put it to his ear when the speakerphone gets hit. And then you hear a voice chime in. Federico, why do you call me? I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I was out doing and I was accidentally dialed in. Are you drunk, Federico? Are you doing the deal, Federico? I'm I'm here right now talking with with my friend.
A friend.
Uh,
Something
do-
wrong.
There's no friends in business, Federico. Get the work done. I. Yeah. And don't call me again. Me and the others are all very busy, Federico. Yes, yes, sir. He finally ends the call, looks back at Avery. Avery looks slightly disappointed and confused. Federico says, um, I could use a drink. Um, maybe not here. Oh, uh, yeah. Um, okay. Why don't we go out and do that? Now. I know a place nearby that'd be good. Yes, Rain.
I have a question. Savitar, what is Dora's Arcanoid?
Castigate and Keening.
Remind me if there is a keening power that lets you influence someone's emotions with your singing.
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Sorry,
Cool.
give me 1 second,
Sure.
and I will tell you which one it is.
Cool. I just need to know that it exists, but I'll let you look it up because Rain's about to do a thing. So Rain walks over to Dora and like tentatively puts a hand on her shoulder. It's just like, Dora, my plan was to disrupt the talks. I'm worried I might have created sympathy for this person. Do you think you can sway Avery to not be sympathetic to this person? I don't know if he's bad, but the people he works for are very bad.
But they
Very,
are
very
such
bad.
tall glass of drinks.
Tor thinks about it a little bit. Oh, this poor boy. Dora nods solemnly. She's about to do this poor boy dirty.
No.
I would like to use mood music, the level 2 common Arcanoi, to create the negative emotion in Avery, contempt.
Oh.
The worst that they can say is not no, it's ew.
It can still lead to hate sex. I mean, hate romance.
No.
All right. I'm gonna have you spend a point of pathos to activate it. And you know what? We're gonna see. I think this is worth the roll. We're gonna see whether your power over the human heart exceeds the boundaries of Avery's own.
Oh boy.
How am I rolling?
It's charisma plus keening against difficulty 7.
No, I'm aware of that. I mean, what do I type? Where do I type it?
Okay, so there
Oh,
is
oh.
under super nerdy stuff in Stolen Fire server, there is the dice tray. You're going to do /R, which pulls up the command and gives you a little bracket thing to enter the format. And then you can see our previous entries. You'll just change the 5d10 or whatever to whatever your dice pool is. And if you're spending a
Got it.
willpower, you add +1 to the end of that formula.
You know what? I really do want to spend a willpower on this one because my heart is breaking for this poor boy.
It's
Dora
gonna wind up.
needs to-
It's gonna wind
go.
up being difficulty 10. Keening powers can be applied across the
How?
shroud at an additional difficulty of the current shroud rating -4. So it would technically go up to 11, but it can't, so it stops at 10.
Oh boy, I'm definitely using that willpower then. Charisma plus keening. charisma.
So in the
Plus-
formula, the greater than equal to part, you'll change to 10.
Mm,
See here, I'll write it out. So how many
yes,
dice do you
please.
have?
I am throwing 8 dice total on this one.
That's a pretty good pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
A ooh, it might be a little more in a second. I just thought of something.
So yeah, you'll do /R and then enter that.
Dora, as you're doing this, a voice chimes in your head saying, "Oh, man, getting past the shroud is always so difficult."
Dora sighs sadly. Yeah, I know. Just offers
If
no resistance whatsoever.
if we work together, though, I think we can make it.
Give
Uh,
me
you,
30 seconds here. Sorry. I know that's quite a while in yeah, I know that's quite a while. Give me a second here though.
I need to look up how shadow dice work.
And I need to look up how my actual powers work. Uh
The sh-
Whenever the shadow god offers the player shadow dice to assist with the task, the wraith may use playing with fire to add, or if he prefers, subtract dice. The player rolls charisma plus castigate, difficulty 6. Every 2 full successes allows the player to add or subtract 1 dice. This art costs no pathos.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's fucked up.
Oh my.
Hmm.
That's why she's a pardoner.
235. Okay, how many can I offer? I can up to 5. Okay. Okay, she's gonna offer a base of 3.
Okay. I am going to use playing with fire to get more dice out of that one.
I will do.
Excellent.
I'll do the formula for you again, Savitar. What is your dice pool?
Charisma plus castigate. That is 8 again. Also 8.
That is that one
Because
for that roll.
Wait, it's oh, I see. So it's okay.
So you can add or subtract one. It looks like.
1.
yeah, 1, I think. Well, I mean, I'm adding the 1.
Right. So then, if you want to roll the 4 dice the shadow is offering you,
Mm-hmm.
it is this.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
No worries. The formulas are long and difficult.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
is like the weirdest dice spot I've ever used.
God damn, though.
Yo!
No angst for the shadow and 3 successes total.
That's why Dora's the partner.
Nice.
It's good stuff. It's your shadow is happy to help you out, and it's good to know that the next time they offer something in good faith that you'll be more inclined to take it.
I will
Yeah.
absolutely be inclined to take it.
We
Honestly,
are
though,
really
that was
ruining Shonen Pro Tag Kun's day.
honestly though, that was pretty good. So is this a total of 3 successes then?
Yeah, with the shadow
Uh,
dice.
yes.
Okay. So shock and awe. Despite difficulty being 10, you reach across the shroud, and um, here is the actual sequence of events. First, you step through the door. You do take a point of bashing damage doing this because the door was closed to the back office, because of course it was. What does it feel like when you discorporate, Dora?
It feels like being in a K-hole. It feels like complete dissociation and disillusion into the universe for like a brief second. And then being ripped back out into into being corporeal. Um, it's almost as if discorporating is the natural state that Dora wants to be in, and that calls out to her. And the bashing damage, again, obviously mechanically that this isn't what's going on, but from Dora's perspective, it feels as if like it's the reincorporation that hurts her.
That's a nice detail.
Amy,
I love that.
Amy's face said everything. By the way, when you said K-hole, and she was like, "It's like, oh, you you didn't hang out with club kids. I see."
Tell me what you play to corrupt Avery's mood right in front of the mirror.
Geez, I neglect to pick a song. Like the
Terrible.
I hang on a second. Songs about loser guys.
Oh, there's so many.
We're going out for his blood.
Dora sings "Loser" by Beck. Just gonna go with the classic here.
If you
And
would,
and the general emotion Dora is trying to cause is just the worst they can say isn't no, it's ew.
okay. Avery gets a look over his face as he's helping Federico make decent, and then says, actually, you know what? I don't know, the phone call, the
Going out for this poor
contract. This just feels like a lot of pressure right now. Federico is crestfallen, his face dropping immediately. That one moment that he reached out to somebody in the light
No.
and has been rejected. He has
They made it
out.
worse.
So tap does work on multiple turns. So as a last resort to salvage this, breaking slightly across for series, I want to use the nudge that I have to push his phone onto the ground as if he had let it fall,
Okay.
so
I
that it
will allow that.
breaks basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's just make this guy buy a new phone too.
That guy will have to buy a new phone for sure. No, what I am trying to nudge this into is, okay, you and me, we might have something, but definitely not with uh not while you are associated with this company.
um, Wraiths have heightened senses built in. Do I
That's
hear?
true.
Do I hear what transpired?
Yes. You and Bryce both hear what transpired.
Rain still is like always lit, but like their light dims because they realize they had, not only did they make a poor read, they sent Dora to do a bad thing based on the poor read. They're clearly crestfallen and upset.
Bryce like gently taps Rain's shoulder as a sort of they're there. We all make mistakes sort of gesture.
Mistake? I think this went swimmingly.
The phone hits the ground. It cracks, snapping Federico out of his moment of disappointment. Shit. I'll get out of your hair. I'm sorry. Look over the contract if you want, I guess. He picks up his phone and then leaves. He'll go back over to the table. He'll pull out the contract. Sigh as he looks at it, puts it down, and then walks out.
Is he
no.
alone by the counter when he's putting the papers out?
Yeah.
I would like to do a thing.
What is that thing?
I would like to use level 1 embody to whisper across the shroud.
What would you like to say?
There's other jobs. You don't have to do this job.
He looks around.
It doesn't say I have to do it in my voice. Is it possible I can imitate? I don't know what that role would be to imitate Avery.
I believe that there's something specific if you want to manipulate your voice. I think it's
Okay.
in keening. If you want to
Probably.
do it, if you want to do it that way, I would ask for a check. I would call that performance. I feel like that would be performance.
A skill I don't have. All right, I will just make it sound like my voice then.
So that.
That's actually not a keening power. Wow.
Oh.
Do you have expression, by the way? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. That is a keening power.
Oh,
Okay. Oh god, I'm losing it. Fucking hate this job. He picks up his bag and he walks out. He will head towards his car and he will drive off. The door is open long enough that Dora can leave without having to discorporate again. The four of you can now regather. What do you do?
I'm muted. Bang walks up to Dora and is like, I think I made a mistake there. I think we I think we didn't need to make Avery feel shitty towards him. We could have just made him feel shitty about his job. I'm sorry.
Dora like thinks about what she's gonna say next very carefully. And then she just says, "It's okay. We didn't really know what was happening. Everything happened so fast. These things happen. If you have any dots in empathy,
I
you
sure
can tell
do.
that
I
you can tell
sure
that
do.
you can tell that Dora is being very diplomatic right now and not sharing her true feelings.
I think Ring won't probe. They'll leave it at that and just kind of be like, I should know better though. I should do better.
There.
Mir, the voice in your head says, don't really know. I don't really know why we bothered, honestly. It feels like there wasn't a point to any of that.
Mir is I think Mir is annoyed. Partially at the fact that things didn't turn out the way she wants. Partially at the shadow for basically reinforcing that point. So Mir will just something like grumble or kick something on the floor. Basically just kick the floor in like she's in her being empathetic and good at dealing with kids, she kinda also adopts some of their behaviors. In this case, just when you don't get what you want, sometimes you act out in teeny ways and go, "Peh, whatever."
I'm pretty. The voice continues. I'm pretty sure I remember both of them. And they used to come back around the store a long time ago.
You're imagining things.
Or maybe you just don't want to see what's become of them.
It's not over yet.
I think it may have been over when he went in bed with that company.
And Mia doesn't have anything else to say to that.
Bryce will try and rally the group by saying, "So this company is pretty sketchy. The clauses they have would make our poor little Zach just go green with envy on the kinds of things they can fit into these clauses. We should better watch out on them trying to target anyone else, because they're gonna come down hard, it looks like, going by this first.
Much
I
like
hate to call it a contract.
sorry.
Yep.
Much like Dora just said, anyone with dots of empathy can read Rain like a book. They're holding something back when Bryce talks about how bad the corporation is.
I heard the sound of the his
The
boss.
boss?
Yeah. I think we all might have heard it as well. At least me and Dora.
All of you would have heard pretty much every conversation.
Okay.
You have heightened senses. That's one of the fun things about being a ghost.
Okay, awesome.
Oh.
Super hearing, super sight, super taste.
You get-
Everything is heightened
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, you get a ton of powers out the gate because being a Wraith sucks.
Huh.
Okay. The boss sounds like kind effortlessly evil. Do not call me again. We are busy. The
Yeah.
only thing that matters is a deal. There are no friends in this business. Like that.
Yeah, you can tell there's something sketchy going on there.
If you see that name mentioned anywhere, it's a red flag.
Oh?
What is the name of the contact in his phone, dude?
Oh, the phone is on the ground, isn't it?
No, he took it.
Oh, he took it? Oh, okay.
But I had a chance to
Tap on it.
on it a bit. Yeah. So I might have
Yes.
had the name of the contact, unless it's just boss.
That was my thought, is that it just says boss.
Honey.
Was there a phone number?
Yes, you could trace the phone number back, and I can provide you with a name in between sessions. I just do not
Okay.
have one off the top of my head.
No worries. Investigation. The dots will be
Investigation
there.
T. Yeah.
The Rain, the voice inside of your head says, that sucked, but I don't see why we should beat ourselves up about it. I mean, I know Dora's giving us the whole false sympathy thing, but we had to try something.
Rain just nods to themselves.
It suddenly occurs to Dora and Bryce, who have not been distracted, that Mir was talking to herself. Because it turns out that you cannot talk telepathically back to your shadow.
Nope.
That's
Yeah.
what happens when you are grumbling.
Yeah, Dora's keeping an eye on that.
I mean, isn't it just like, I don't know, walking out of the bathroom with a bit of toilet paper still on your waistbands? You're not supposed to talk about it when it happens.
Yes,
Very much the vibe, yeah.
yeah, it's embarrassing. Oh, Aaron, could you go ahead and add a point of temporary angst to your sheet for that plan backfiring majestically?
God damn it.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh no.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I forgot to ask you folks about, you know what? We'll do this during the end, but determine what your permanent angst score is. We'll do that just before Stars and Wishes.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I just did the half for the moment, but I'm happy to do the randomness either.
I went ahead and rolled. I'll review it later.
This will be our last scene, and then we'll jump over to that stuff. So, what do you plan to do from here?
Report it to Zach.
Put it in his hands, and then Zach goes, "Nope, I don't want to deal with it." So just push that back over to you guys.
So we haven't named this person yet, Amy. But there is someone Rain would like to report to that isn't the Anacreon.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Is that someone we know about, or is this the side story stuff?
It doesn't have to it's I will tell you openly as an out of game. I have the floss sleeping with the enemy.
Ooh, nice.
So Rain has a complicated relationship with the werewolf that killed them.
Ooh.
But if there's something we want to do before, because that can again be done on the side.
Are we
Yes.
talking about what we are doing now in this moment, or what we are doing after we're done with this with the scene
So
with the initial?
we are basically planning for next week. What are you
Okay.
guys going to be doing during next week? If there's something that I think is like a very personal scene, I might say, let's try to do that during a side scene between the sessions. So what will be your guys' general course of action?
I think uh Mir has enough dots in perception and some in empathy that pressing Rain on what exactly are we worried about the Black Dog publishing might be a good idea. Given that they were holding it back.
Bryce would be trying to trace the number more directly, seeing if Black Dog has a Phoenix office, and trying to look through things using inhabitant stuff to trace back who the money's flowing from to see why they're suddenly really invested in snagging something in the art district. So a bit of corporate espionage from the other side.
So find out. So find out whether they have Black Dog has offices here, and then the second one was find out why they're so interested.
Yeah. So if they have
Okay.
offices I can get to, then go into those offices and do the ghostly sneaking around and hopping into computers.
I see. Okay, cool. So I'm picking up on a vibe from Blaze of, hey, let's investigate the big bad company itself behind all of this.
Yeah.
What angle will Dora want to take, Savitar?
Dora wants to look into ad campaigns for King Brewery.
And
Because
why?
because she is going. This is like up there in like terms of most deranged ideas I've ever had in a World of Darkness game.
Right.
She is going to investigate. So I'm gonna say that Dora has been looking for like an opportunity to do this for a while now, and like this is like the perfect opportunity in her mind. She wants to investigate the potential for using keening as subliminal messaging.
Okay, I can see that helping her develop her arts. How does that help her with the situation?
Oh, I think I get it. Like you're investigating their ad campaign to see if they're using it to, and then learn to do it yourself.
Uh, to like screw them over with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether they use subliminal advertising. And
Because it seems to me like the relationship with King Brewery is like a big draw for a lot of these businesses. So if we can like torpedo the viability of King Brewery as a business, at least in the short term, it will dramatically slow down. Um, I'm just gonna say it, it would slow down Pentex's entry.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a
I'm
name
sorry. I'm
company in the
sorry.
lore. Fun.
Spoiler alert, but
Yeah,
it's
spoiler alert.
Pentex.
That's who's behind this.
Yeah, like Dora knows enough to know that this isn't. I mean, you can stop me if Dora does not know enough to know this, but I think that given Dora's dots, she knows enough to see that this isn't like just a one-off thing. That whoever is behind this King Brewery thing is going to keep trying with other local businesses. So she figures that if she can find a way to slow down King Brewery's entry into the market in this manner, it would set back whoever is trying to gentrify the area.
that's normal. And you have a background with like, politics too, right?
2 dots politics, 3 dots of
Yeah.
occult.
So I think it's fair to say that you've seen what happens to businesses that bring in King Brewery, and it's never good. It
Mhm.
is unsettlingly popular, and now it's happening in your neighborhood. Maybe it's time to finally look into it.
Yeah,
And so Rain is going to investigate the supernatural angle directly.
So if you're asking what next session I might
Yes.
be doing, because that will probably happen in a side scene, the supernatural part. Unless you want it to be on camera, that's fine. I will say something I can do on camera is, I imagine Rain's, because Rain was a supernatural kill. Their death was probably covered up, so they're probably just a missing person and not like a body.
Mhm.
So Rain probably like drops little hints here and there that they're still around, like a Banksy move almost, where there's just little pieces that are clearly Rain's, but no one's seen Rain in 2 years. Um, so I think what Rain will be doing is doing some targeted graffiti like against uh, King Brewery and Black Dog in particular. Like it will be subtle stuff, like not like Black Dog Publishing with an X through it. Like no, it'll be like like they'll do a like a black shuck being shoot out of the house. Um if you're not familiar with that particular, that's an omen of death. Fae. But yeah, stuff like that.
And what are you hoping that'll just stir somebody up to come?
Just kind of give the neighborhood the feel that like this company is bad news and you don't want to associate with them. You don't even want to give them a chance.
Okay, I'm trying to think about how to make that into a scene.
I'm not sure either, but that was the first thing I thought of.
Well, we can think on it. That's cool.
I don't know because I have a broke board / protege that is one of my fetters. I don't know if we're in like proper communication because of how it's not the mists, that's changeling. What's the wraith thing called?
shroud.
Veil?
The fog.
The fog. Thank you.
So many words. So
yeah, there's so many. There's
Yeah,
so much
geez.
so much terminology for the same thing. Man, if only vampires got free mortals forget you.
The masquerade.
I suppose a more concrete thing I can do because I have embody is I can infiltrate their offices spiritually and then physically if they have an office. I think maybe Bryce and Rain can
tag
work in
team.
conjunction. Yeah, because I can actually physically manifest in the Skinlands. So maybe that would be a good duo thing. And the graffiti stuff can just be something Rain does on the side, and just whatever, you know. But yeah, a more concrete thing will be I think Rain and Bryce working together to fuck with the offices in some way.
What I'll wind up doing is I'm taking notes here, and then after the session, I'm going to collate that and then repost and say, hey guys, here's what I hear you guys want to do for the next session and what might fit better in a side scene. And then I'll have you guys confirm that and we'll go from there. But there's one person we haven't heard from, and that is what is Mir's angle?
I think Mir wouldn't necessarily have many concrete things to do other than just reconsider that and talk to people in her community, talk to Rhonda or Zach or Rain about exact what we are worried about, because Mia doesn't have the context or the dots to be specific to ambiently know about Black Dogs or Pentex or Kingsbury. And
I assume the rest of the group fills you in about that.
Another thing that Mia would do for herself is if that boy keep forgetting his name, the defense boy,
Federico.
If Federico actually is a Roosevelt Rose native, and if he actually has any kind of maybe photos or picture of him as a kid, just to reassure herself that, oh crap, what the Shadow Whisperer was true or not, basically. So just working on herself and her knowledge and her warrior's relationship with feathers, rather than anything concrete in here. As per slightly of contexting for what we want to do next session, I would love to see any kind of connections between in terms of chemistry or the actual substance that they serve, like light, psychoactive, or addictive properties to the product they serve.
Okay.
Checking if there's a magical drug angle to the beer.
Yeah. Like in character, there's no reason for me to suspect that, but I'm proposing it in our character.
And I'm going to assume that once again, Dora's like, I'm looking at the whole King Brewery because they do some weird stuff. I don't know why people like it. It's so awful. And you're like, I know chemistry and crafting. I can probably figure it out. I'm the one character who took science.
I also have chemistry.
Okay, so stuff and
doing a little splitting the party into two research phases, two-pronged assault on the corporation.
Might as well.
All right, so the general vibe I'm picking up on is you guys, for some reason, want to go after this small tabletop role-playing game company and this family-owned brewery.
Hey man, it's just bad vibes.
Crushed.
It's almost like they're pure
camps.
evil. Okay, nope, that's good. That's good. We can definitely make that the focus of the next session, which is basically investigating them. Let's do some final stuff, and then we'll wrap up for the evening. First off, we're going to end with Stars and Wishes, but first, I want to know, how do we want to handle permanent angst? The way this works by default is
a good title.
You roll a number of dice equal to your permanent willpower against a difficulty of 6. You do not subtract ones. Anything that comes up with a positive gets added to your permanent ink score. So you could roll 6 successes. If you have willpower 5 and you roll 5 successes, you could wind up with 5 permanent angst. You could roll no successes and wind up with a minimum of 1, or somewhere in between. You can either do that, or I can say just take half. of your willpower score. I need you guys to decide as a group. Do you all want to do it randomly? That can lead to somebody winding up with 1, other person winding up with 5.
I'm fine with either.
I have no
For
preference.
This is my first time, so I don't know
Mm.
what's better for
Permanent
group
angst
play.
is the score that determines how close you are to hitting oblivion.
Ooh.
So your shadow's goal is to keep is to get 10 points of temporary angst, convert that into a permanent point of angst, then build it up again and do it all over again until you get to 10 permanent angst. At that point, you become a specter. It would probably take a while, as you've seen from this first session. One person gained 1 point.
Hmm.
I'll say that in this case, I have real quick question, Amy. Amy, does tens double for permanent angst as well, or does it not
And,
affect?
and no, because there's no specialty.
Okay, I see. In the while I was preparing for this, I actually rolled my permanent angst already, and I I got a 10 for one of the success. And regardless, I have. If we had gone with the roll, I would have 5 permanent angst for 6 willpower. So Shadow's got a lot of success there. I am fine with either, but does other than in arriving at Oblivion, does permanent angst have any challenging aspects that shadows can use to affect the game or do things?
Catharsis.
Not, yeah. Isn't it when your temporary angst is higher than your willpower?
You might be right, actually. It might just be temporary. But
I
you can
think-
downgrade. So the shadows can downgrade a permanent point to a full bar of a temporary.
Oh, that's true.
So
To
if you have
answer your
if
question-
you have a lot of permanent, you can downgrade it and then be like catharsis time.
It would probably not come up until you're at 10. There are certain rules which refer to permanent angst. There's probably something that Savitar would care about for Castigate that does that. Or if your shadow ever takes over completely, but I don't think that it otherwise matters.
Okay. I think as a general rules, rolling is might be better in this case. If only to give shadows more power to affect the things.
If you are all cool with the idea of being closer to Oblivion, then I am fine with all of you rolling. Otherwise, I will just say start with half of your power score.
We round up or down?
It's a good question, isn't it?
Because I have 7 willpower.
Is anyone anxious about getting to about their angst increasing? I do not expect we're going to have anybody max out in 8 sessions.
Not me, baby. Put me in.
I have no angst about it.
No, you know me, Amy.
Okay.
Everybody
So we
roll.
roll?
Yep, I'm going to put in the dice notation for you guys. That's the notation.
That will be its difficulty 6, correct?
Correct, yes.
So I have 2 permanent angst. Savitar, what is your willpower?
5. I did it.
Woo.
Hey,
Neither Dora nor Rain are very angsty. What about Bryce? Dice
Oh, wait.
pressure's taking a moment. I don't like this.
Oopsie. I forgot to put in the numbers.
Oh.
Lol.
Yeah, just go ahead and reroll.
Uh,
It's gonna time out.
Uh, Oh, botheration. Sorry about that. Wait, so I use that. So it's greater than 6, and I have 7 dice
Mhm.
because I have 7
Willpower.
Correct.
willpower. Okay.
Make sure that you're just doing. That should be the only thing you copy and paste into that box.
Yeah, I thought I did that right, but I guess I am not mathing correctly. There we go.
Hey.
3.
Hey, you got the average.
Cool. So the angstiest of them all is Mir at 5.
Who's the oldest
Yeah.
Wraith among us? Right?
I think it's Mir. Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Actually, I think, funny enough, I think aged we have appropriate angst because it's like a downhill. Because I think it's Mir, Bryce, Dora, Brain in terms of Wraith age.
Dora and Reigns were just like, no, we're cool. It's not a big deal. We're not in a hurry.
Hmm.
Big world out there to explore. Let's take our time with it.
Hmm.
All right. Now that we've done that, some final stuff. Okay, so after tonight's session, probably tomorrow, maybe tonight, I'm going to put down the reminders of the sightseeing stuff and next session stuff. Have you guys confirmed that? I'm going to also look at your guys' character sheets again, the comments that came in the last hour, because I didn't have a chance to respond to those. All of you can update your characters. So if there's something you learned in this session where you're like, I don't want that Arca noise, that's fine. You can change it out. Just let me know. And I think that's it. So let's jump on to Stars and Wishes now. So for those who are new to it, Stars and Wishes is where we give stars for things that we liked what the other players, hey, you're a storyteller, did. And wishes are things that we would like to be handled differently. Again, that can be something directed at a player. So you can say, Amy, I wish you would do more of this or less of that. You can say about another player, hey, there was this audio issue. If you could take care of that, I would appreciate it. Or it can be something general like, oh man, I want to, you know, fight this one dude. You can leave them general as well. I will go first to set the stage. So stars for everybody. Usually I write these down because I'm playing, but I'm in the storyteller's seat today. So I'm just going to try to do these ad hoc. Oh, Aaron, it was definitely the moment where you had that regret for what you'd done. Definitely. It would have been the belt buckle, but it was you confounding your own plans. No shadow needed. By saying, we should go fuck with them. And then you hearing, oh no, I wish we didn't fuck with them. Blaze, star for you for the digital download into the files. It's a really cool moment. I love that
I
description
can
of
like
you.
the imagery there.
Way you handled it. Perfect. And also, sorry for you for opening up us for the session with the in the group role for the role playing opening. I don't know. All right. For so many things, but I mean, to start off with the shirt rip and just how you were constantly twitching and tapping and doing everything with tap. You were getting the absolute most out of your ability to touch and maneuver objects. I loved it. Right up to the end, right up to the smack that phone out of his hand. Let's get that star. And then Dora. Oh man. Okay. So honestly, the way you handled going the conversation with your shadow, where it's like, sorry for not just being like, yeah, I'll take those dice. But then you reach out, grab their arm, and pull them closer and say, we're finished when I say we're Wishes. My biggest wish is I want to see more interaction between the group. There's a little bit at the beginning, a little bit at the end, and I want to see more of that. I know that right now we have a lot of scenes that are going to be separated. So I'm going to be learning from Seth how to do this properly. But I want to see your characters themselves interacting more with each other. Really build that circle interaction. That's it for me. Now we're going to go around the table. Al, Blaze, Aaron, and then Savitar.
Okay. Um, Stars for Amy for being an excellent GM, obviously. That laugh, Cthulhu.
Does complimenting your girlfriend count as a star? I don't know.
She's always a star. Um, like I said, that laugh, Cthulhu. Stars for Cthulhu. I'm only going to be saying things that aren't repeats of what Amy said. So, Star for Cthulhu going ahead and doing the pantsing the guy, because what I this is slightly patting my own back here, but what I had been sent treasure, what I sent Amy before, like as soon as I see his picture was, I wonder if we can pull his hands to advance our goal agenda in some way, and then Cthulhu went ahead and did it. I thought, it might be too silly. Maybe it would be great for the atmosphere or something. And bad Cthulhu always
Yeah.
in his story.
Accidental star for Aaron on that one. For making that wish come true.
Yes. Star for Dora or Seveta in general for the description. I love the idea of this incorporating being the what caused pain. Like Dora was just so naturally into ghost and ghostly power. Hell yeah.
That was a really good moment. I was not expecting.
No wishes in general.
Oh, then it's my turn. Star to Amy for the really nice reference images. They really paint a scene. So sorry that the mainstream can't see them, but they are very fun things for that we appreciate as the actors. Star to Owl for being the old shipping auntie or grandma of the group and doing all the romantic thingies that just feel so in tune with like the vibes of your character, from being like, I saw all these people grow up as kids and now I get to shine as the matchmaker. Star to Aaron for the cool art stuff and the Godzilla versus Cthulhu painting, which was really good. And then star to Savitar for the songs and like really just doing the yes ands of going with Rain's ideas in scene and sort of doing what's needed to make things happen. Yeah. No real wishes from me, though I am kind of looking forward to maybe or maybe not seeing some werewolfy thingies going forward. I know you did say, Amy, that you'd prefer to keep it more Wraith right now, but it does seem like we're running straight into werewolf run corporation, so that seems like a lot of fun for how the supernatural interacts with the Wraith, all living side by side in one city.
I've guaranteed at least one werewolf in the game.
So yes, no, I'm glad you said that. So my goal here is I want to keep it Wraith focused. Yes, it's a company which comes from Werewolf, but that doesn't mean they can't ruin it for every other splat in existence.
Indeed.
So yes, there's are supernatural elements, but they're not terribly important to what they're doing. The big thing here is if you get caught up in the supernatural, you'll miss the fact they are just here to fuck people over. That's more important than how many Black Spiral dancers they have on their payroll. But yeah, the werewolf references are also fun.
I mean, Oh, well, do Black Spiral downstairs or something have like ghost powers? I know that all of the splats have at least one group that does ghosty thingies.
The Silent Striders do that for the werewolves.
Oh.
And coincidentally for Aaron.
Quick clarification: are we just doing stars and wishes, or are we doing outros too?
Let's also do outros.
Cool. Do you want to hop back to out and then Blaze so they can do their outros as well?
We can keep the outro starting from Erin probably because at least I don't know how to do
Okay.
outro.
Cool.
I also don't know how to do outros
So
yet.
I will do the outro at the end, so you have it. So I'll do stars wish first. Stars for Amy. I loved that we had an NB right off the bat, a cute NB shopkeeper that I must protect. I also loved the whoever was on the other end of that phone call voice. Very
was really
big.
good.
Very big Shenji's dad from Evangelion vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so stars for that. Stars for Ao. I like the twofer of me pantsing him and then you pulling his shirt and de-shirting him. I thought that was great. I always love a combo power move. Blaze, I love your description of possessing paperwork, even though it was like the most analog thing ever. It was still Matrix as fuck. I thought that was great. I also, this is gonna be a star for both you and Savitar because you both did it to Rain. The pat of "It's okay, bud." Both with the same energy somehow of like, sucks, don't it? Cool. For Savitar, yes, that the very big obvious. Yep, that's awful. I'm so sad I did this. Wink. I also really loved the K-hole description of discorporating. I thought that was great. Yeah, that was very cool. Let's see. Wishes. I'm gonna second Amy's wish about more interaction between us. I'm playing a shy cinnamon roll, which makes it a little. Normally, I am playing Gremlins, and I did do a little bit of Gremlin shit for sure, but it was because I wanted to make sure this place was safe. So it's hard for my end to do it, but I'm hoping more of it. Yeah, I think that's my big wish.
Well,
That
did wanna
one-
say. Oh.
Yes. For that one, I was
Oh.
going to say it might make sense for Bryce and Dora to lead because Rain and Mir are the shy ones, or to have those quiet moments where Rain and Mir approach the others and say something softly.
Yeah, I found the organic moments tonight when it was like appropriate for Rain to speak up, but like I don't want to step out of character too much doing that. That is why it's a wish.
Yeah, but I do want to clarify that my character has 4 in charisma and only 1 in manipulation, so anything he does is basically always as honest as possible, so he truly did mean the pat pass on the back in the most gentle way as possible.
Oh, okay. I see. Noted.
Dora did not.
No.
Dora, like from the get-go, was like, "Nah, that dude is evil. Absolutely nothing wrong can be done to him."
But he's so cute though. If evil, why cute?
If
You know
evil,
what?
then
It's
why hot? Yeah, I know.
Probably
We can
probably
fix him.
because he can be redeemed, and as soon as he's redeemed, we will cuddle him, and he'll be our guy. But until then, I'm sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Your life is gonna be miserable. Get a new job, and we'll talk.
That's entirely fair.
That is it for my stars and wishes. So I will
Being
outro
the
now.
strict auntie.
I'll outro now. Once again, I have been Aaron, pronoun she, they, Faye. I played Rain, they, them. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Great Cthulhu in some fashion, except Twitter. Fuck that place. You can next see this face Thursday. I will be here at Stolen Fires at 6 p.m. Pacific, playing The Between, which is a Victorian game of monster hunting. It's monster fucking.
I
Nice.
was about to ask.
Yeah, it's a very horny
Constantly.
game. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's great. And then you can see me here Friday again, same time, same channel, 6 p.m. Pacific, with our part 3 of Dune season 4 finale. For sure we won't go for another part 4. I joke because I said this on Thursday. I was like, "There's no way we'll have a part 3," and indeed we do have a part 3. So I'll say it again tonight. There's no way we'll have a part 4. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Stars and Wishes for Sevatar. Star to Rain. For like telling Nora what to do, just like pointing her at a target and then just watching like that dude's life get completely destroyed and then feeling bad about it. Please, anyone, feel free to just like point Dora at a target and just like watch what
Go.
happens. That's my preferred. I like to play Dora as like a weapon that can be just pointed at a target. Um, for Bryce, yeah, absolutely. The just kind of possessing the papers. I thought that was really creative. It was really cool imagery. Just absorbing that information. For AO, I really appreciated how hard Mir was trying here. And I apologize for completely derailing that. And for Amy, just for running this game. I had so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much for saying so.
Yes, thank you for running always, Amy.
Thank you so much.
Wishes, I would like to interact with other specters at some point, NPCs, get a better sense for like the world, what that's like. Beyond just like, hey, here's the immediate problem.
Okay,
And
clarification before you go on. You said interact with other specters. Did you mean other wraiths?
Wraiths, my bad. It's kind of
Okay.
late. Yeah. And
Well, we just found out
Surprise
Dora's a
ship.
doppelganger, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next session is
That
going to be a little different. Change your plans.
I mean
that Freudian slip really came in.
she was very happy to accept her shadow's help. So um and outro. I'm Sevatar, he, him, playing Dora, she, her. Catch me where you can. I'm not gonna be anywhere except right back here next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Al and Blaze, let's have your outros, and then I'll do mine.
Of course. This has been Ao, he, him, they, playing Mia, she, her. You will not find me anywhere other than here or in desperately trying not to say Amy's room and Amy's server, but that's entirely unrelated to Twitch.
Right, so
Ah,
this
you
is-
embarrassed her. It's yay! It's not me for once. Yay!
So this is Blaze playing Bryce.
Thank you, Blaze.
And I'm not really anywhere else. Thank you for being my first live stream game. I hope I was fun in it, and I hope you all enjoyed it. So see you all next week.
And I have been Amy, your storyteller, she, her, portraying everybody else. You'll find me also playing In the Between, the Horny Monster game on Thursdays, running games on my own server. Don't know how to link to it. And back here,
Amy,
next
do you want me
Tuesday,
to link it in chat? I can. I could drop an
that.
invite. If you want me to. I'm asking if you want me to, Amy.
Yes.
Okay.
For anybody who would like, for anybody who's looking to join more games, you are welcome to jump in there. I run a variety of games. I'm trying a bunch of new systems. That's what inspired me to run Wraith in the first place. And I believe that is all of us. So thank you all for, so to my players, thank you for playing. To our audience, thank you for giving this show a chance. It's been a pleasure having all of you here in the chat. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
All right. I think I'm gonna keep in a little tradition. I'm gonna go ahead and raid someone. It looks like Dorktails is live, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
I think the others might not know what the term raid means.
So basically, we're taking all the viewers in the channel that are watching us right now and taking them somewhere else. It's a little bit of pay it forward, and helps build communities and spread love. Looks like they're doing D&D. All right. Night, everyone.
Nate.
Hi.
Hi.